Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network. We come to you tonight from Layton Stadium at the Father Bly Field here in South Bend, Indiana, as Armour Construction presents live coverage of the 2025 Indiana High School Football State Tournament. Tonight, the Hobart Brickies take on the South Bend St. Joseph Huskies. I'm Mike Dewan. I'll be handling the play-by-play for tonight's broadcast. And joining me with the color analysis for tonight's game is the coach, Doug Nelson. What's up, Coach?
Michael, always great to see you guys. Man, we got a beautiful evening here.
We're within the elements here, Doug, but we're not complaining. We'll get into our weather forecast later, but Doug, like you said, it's we started the week, we had some snow on the ground a little bit. Now we make it to Friday, and we have a beautiful weather forecast. We also have a beautiful game in front of us, Doug. Two teams that are, again, it's regional championships. It's hard to believe we're here at this point, but two teams trying to punch their ticket to the Final Four. It's interesting.
It's going to be a battle of styles, right? And it's kind of that long-term discussion. What wins, offense or defense? And we got, as we mentioned, we got South Bend St. Joe coming in with the fifth best points allowed in the entire state, giving up about 8.5 points a game, and Hobart's in the top 50 of scoring, so 37.5 points a game. So what's going to advance and what travels, and we'll find out here in a couple hours.
No doubt about it, Doug. We'll start with our visitors, the Hobart Brickies, the team we are most familiar with on the Region Sports Network. Coming into this game 10-2 on the season, and we saw last week they took on the Lowell Red Devils, a team they lost to earlier in the season. 20-17 was that score. Rebounded, went back to the Brickyard in the sectional championship, went back to the drawing board, got a little bit healthier, got the job done, 35-15. The Hobart Brickies, as a team, we knew kind of coming into the year, Doug, they had some pieces coming back. Alex Tatum, the quarterback, is tremendous, has been great in his junior season. They got a lot of senior leaders as well, and Eric Schreiber Jr., the head coach of the Hobart Brickies, entering his second year, getting a signature win over a team that wanted it equally as bad, a community that wanted it equally as bad, the Lowell Red Devils. But the Hobart Brickies, Doug.
Yeah, again, as you mentioned, they've only been held to single digits one time this year against Andrean, and Andrean's still playing. So, I mean, they've scored double digits, 10 times or 11 times this year, and they can score in many different ways. And again, we'll see if they can figure out that St. Joe defense. But a lot of talent, and that's a community, as you know, Mike, that they want to win in football, and they're used to it.
They're a team that has been around the block. They're seeking, pending tonight, their 18th regional title in program history, their first since 2020. It is also the last time the Hobart Brickies won sectionals after this season. About the host, the 11th-ranked South Bend St. Joseph Huskies in the class of 4A, Doug. 11-1 on the season. You look at South Bend St. Joseph and you think, the basketball school, right? But now we look at this football team on the field. We talked about it. They shocked Mishawaka last week as we see them run out onto the field. But this is a program that is, they have some pieces in place. They're a team that kind of runs the football a little bit more. But the defense, Doug, like you said in the open, phenomenal.
Yeah, giving up 8 points a game. And as we mentioned, the balanced run attack. 5 guys over 200 yards this year, and they're just gonna move the football on the ground in between the tackles, and I know it's awfully cliche and we talk about it every week, but the game's going to be decided in the trenches. Who's got control of that line of scrimmage, and again, we'll see if Hobart can move the pocket a little bit with Tatum, and see if St. Joe can run the football with their team of running backs that they got.
Yeah, Doug, you and I were kind of talking about before we got on, if there was a team maybe comparable, a region team comparable to South Bend St. Joseph, maybe minus the passing game, a team that's also playing tonight, the Michigan City Wolves. South Bend St. Joe is a team, and we'll talk about the runners throughout the broadcast, but a lot of guys they keep fresh. They've had a couple injuries from what I understand, but we'll see a kind of a lot of horizontal runs, if you will, some jet sweeps and some things in between the tackles. So the Hobart Brickies, they could throw the football as well. We'll take a little bit of a break here, about 3.5 minutes till kickoff. We'll be back here. You are watching the IHSA Football State Tournament presented by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. For 26 years, Armour Construction has been beautifying homes across Northwest Indiana. From expert roofing and durable siding to eye-catching custom copper work, Armour Construction does it all with the highest quality and integrity. Serving Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties, trust the best exterior construction company in Northwest Indiana to protect your investment.
Ava, let's go.
Try it on. shortest distance between two people is a smile. That's why we're committed to fighting hunger in our communities. Until everyone has a reason to smile. Strack Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
If you are injured in a worksite accident or hurt by a defective product, go with the guy that has a proven track record litigating these cases. Otto Schregel, a principal partner at the Allen Law Group, will make sure those responsible for hurting you are held to account for their negligence. With multiple offices in Indiana and Illinois, you can reach them at 219-465-6292 or reach them out on the web at www.kenallenlaw.com. Welcome back. You're watching Game Night, built by Armour Construction. This is the 4A regional round between the Hobart Brickies and the South Bend St. Joseph Huskies. Mike DeWan, Doug Nelson alongside me. Zach Zanelli, our producer. Thomas Marsh is the man behind the lens. You see the Hobart Brickies now take the field. The visitors trying to spoil this party, Doug. We're just minutes away from kickoff. We cannot wait to get going.
Yeah, you know, we had that Crown Point game last week and against Penn, and there were so many. I was listening to the radio coming in, and there were so many mistakes that both teams made in a high-level game. And you know, to advance, especially on the road, if you're a Hobart fan, you know, you have to find a way to limit those mistakes as much as you can. That's when you get to this time of the year. Those mistakes are, you could have those in the first or maybe second, third of the season. But now when we get to this point, Doug, when it's win or go home, there's not much room for mistakes, and we kind of see that over the course of these winners and these losers and why these teams are still playing. Got to give a shout-out to our Economy Electric Heating and Cooling Friday night forecast. It is time for that. We are here at South Bend. It is 55 degrees, clear skies, a low of 39 degrees, but don't have much wind, Doug. We'll get the actual number for that as I take a look. The feels like is about 52 degrees. Sunset a little bit ago, but not a whole lot of wind, not any rain expected, and 100% chance of some good football. Yeah, I'm just, like I said last week, I'm glad that there's no weather. And you know, you don't want that to be a factor in a huge game like this. Yeah, we had snow earlier in the week. You mentioned you got kind of hammered out there in the Portage area. I don't know, Northwest Indiana must have missed us a little bit. In Northwest Indiana, I should say, kind of up there. But nonetheless, it is a clear night here, and got to give a big shout-out once again to those at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. That is the Friday night forecast. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Doug, any final thoughts here as we gear up now for kickoff? Hobart again trying to add to that illustrious trophy case, while the South Bend St. Joseph Huskies, they're trying to kind of, rewrite their story here. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the chess match early on, right, to see what adjustments both teams have made, and then again, they'll make those adjustments again at halftime. But all the hype and all the talk throughout the week, and all the all the distractions and coaches trying to keep things as normal as possible. Well, good luck with that, right? But as soon as that ball gets teed up, it's 11 on 11. Let's get after it. No doubt about it. Let's have some fun here as the teams gear up for the first of hopefully a couple Quintel kickoffs. This is a Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, specializing in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Looks like Hobart will take the football first here in the first half. Live from South Bend, St. Joseph. Once again, Mike DeWan, Doug Nelson, Zach Zanelli, and Thomas Marsh. You guys also tuning into the audio broadcast on Facebook, YouTube, and regionsports.com. Big shout out to Zach Miller back at the studio. But time to play ball. Back deep, we got three guys for the Hobart Brickies. I believe one of them is number 10, the star junior Nathan Subchinski. Number 20, Stephen Miller.
And I believe that's number 18 on the far side of your screen, Bryce Tolliver. A lot of guys playing both ways, and we'll talk about kind of the makeups of these teams, Doug. But for now, let's get ready to roll. Kicking off for the Huskies, number 9 is Ryder Place. Got a pooch kick to the near side here. Waves a fair catch. Kind of bounces in no man's land. Takes a roll out of bounds. Did he touch it? I believe they are marking it.
Did.
Yep, they're not marking any flags there. I thought he fanned on it, Doug, but
we did.
And yep, there it is.
I thought he touched the football, Mike.
It was close. I don't know. Again, that pooch kick, I mean, that's kind of what the pooch kick's designed for. It puts you in those uncomfortable situations. But what the referee saw right there, looks like, I believe that was 19 for the Hobart Brickies. That was Aiden Cash, who was camped under it, let that ball pass him. It may benefit the Brickies here.
I don't know if he let it pass him on purpose. I think he kind of floated over his head a little bit. But they'll take the break. That's what we talked about. Those breaks, they got to go your way here tonight.
Most importantly, again, that first kick of the game, definitely kind of one of those momentum boosts, and more so, again, to get your feel within the game. But here trots out the Hobart Bricky offense, a team that puts up a lot of points on the board, led by number 2, Alex Tatum, the quarterback, the junior quarterback. Flanked off to now his right is Max Pickett, the running back in action. 2 receivers to the bottom of our screen. 1st and 10, inside handoff to Pickett. And that time, a good gain there from Pickett, good second effort, but this South Bend St. Joseph run defense, Doug, they had a lot of practice last week against Mishawaka. That's a strong part of their unit.
Yeah, they fill the box, and those linebackers swarm quickly. I think I see a flag, Mike.
We do. Already 2 plays, 2 flags here in the game. It looks like Max Pickett's helmet might have come off. And maybe that's why. That'll be a face mask there on the Huskies, so that will move the sticks in favor of the Hobart Brickies. So already, Doug, maybe that first kick, maybe, whatever the opinion's on, if he touched it, if it didn't, whatever, but face mask there, now you're putting the Brickies already in plus territory.
Yeah, and you got to take advantage of these, right? I mean, how many times you get in the red zone and you got to get, you're not satisfied with 3 points, you want to get 6.
That'll be the first down, the Four Seasons first down, brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialist. Ball now placed at the South Bend St. Joseph 48-yard line, 11:43 and counting to go. This time a direct snap to Tatum, going to take it off to the right side, not much going there. Again, a defense that is very, very stout. That'll be the safety there, James Creniti, the junior safety there on the tackle.
Yeah, he did a great job of flying to the football there, kind of cutting off that edge that Tatum is probably pretty used to getting.
Creniti leads the team in interceptions, the defensive unit at least, with 5, 80 tackles to his name. Make that 81. 2nd and 10 now. Tatum motioning outright. Bringing, I believe that's Miller. Going to be Pickett. Oh, ball is on the ground. And that time, not much going. Another blunder there. You move Tatum, and at that point in time, they're going Wildcat there, Doug. And
it's nerves right here. Yep. I think it's nerves on both sides, and it's going to be a matter who can settle down and get in the groove here.
Stephen Miller was the man in motion. Looked like that was going to be Pickett all the way to the right side. But now quickly, you blink, and now it's 3rd and 16.
Yeah, you wonder if how conservative Hobart will be here. Maybe a little draw just to get the blood flowing and see if we get anything out of it. But you don't want to take a big risk here.
We saw a lot of success, at least in the passing game with Hobart last week against Lowell, in the play-action game, and more so with the connection with number 18, Bryce Tolliver. But 3rd and 16, what's the play call here? Might be a short pass. Tatum back to pass. Going to look left over these outstretched arms there of Stephen Miller, the junior. And after that face mask penalty to pick up the first down for the Brickies, the Huskies put them off schedule there, Doug. Now forces the first punt of the evening.
Yeah, number 52, Kabi Addo. Kind of rushed Tatum a little bit from that left side. Maybe threw it a little sooner than he wanted to.
Again, getting them off schedule, Doug, it's a tale as old as time, and that's going to set teams up for failure. But now the punt away from Hobart. Good snap, gets that ball away.
Good kick.
Good kick, took a decent hop there, but now South Bend St. Joseph will take over. Michael Klach was the punter there for the Brickies. But now the Huskies will take over. Looks like the ball will be at about the 18-yard line, Doug.
Yeah, it's what, like you mentioned, it's kind of like what's coming. If you're Hobart and fill that box, and they play a 4-3 defense from the film I saw, doing a little homework, and again, they're going to fill the box as well and force St. Joe to beat them in the air.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent all across the board, obviously, as we enter this regional round. 10:09 to go. Now South Bend St. Joseph takes over as the quarterback Sam Sketchetano, the junior. Going to hand that one off to the right.
Oh,
and takes a lick right there. But a good gain. I believe that's David Waite, the sophomore running back. They got a couple young guys that make a lot of plays in the backfield. David Waite being one of them, the sophomore. 64 attempts on the season, 261 yards. Took a big hit there, though, Doug.
Yeah, big. Looks like number 61, Preston Perez, was in on that tackle. Running back tried to cut it back, and Perez was just sitting there waiting for him.
Perez, one of these senior leaders for the Hobart Brickies squad. The defensive tackle, 5'8", 190. He's just a ball of energy, and we talked with him in the summer, and one of those guys that knows that Bricky pride. Now 2nd and 5 here. One of those jet sweeps we'll see a lot here tonight. Rolling going out left. But that time Hobart snuffs that one out. Dallas Downey, the ball carrier, had a game-winning touchdown against Mishawaka last week. But Hobart scraping the football. One of the keys in this game, Doug. And again, a very solid group of linebackers the Brickies have with Josh Diaz, Von Jones, and a couple other guys.
Yeah, that was an absolute swarm to the football. You got to watch out for that quarterback pulling that in. You see it, I'm sure the coordinators are watching, but the Brickies really pursued to the football there.
They could set up plays. Sketchetano, not much of a runner, the quarterback for the Huskies, but got to be aware of that. But now with 3rd and 4, under 9 minutes to go, Sketchetano going to hand this one off, and short. You got it, Doug. The Bricky defense stands tall. And the Bricky faithful making themselves heard already here in the early parts of the ball game.
Yeah, I think, again, they're going to load them up, and they're going to make their quarterback beat him in the air.
A lot of gold hats to the football. We're going to be seeing that a lot. Two teams that really kind of pride themselves on the run game. More so, I would say, the Huskies. But the Brickies definitely have to, like we said, get to the ball, put a bunch of gold hats on the football, and no arm tackles here in this one.
Now, big hits.
Big hits. Make them pay. Subchinski back to receive the punt. I believe that is Tolliver alongside him as well. Snap a little bit high, does get it off. A good one to the right side. Tolliver waves his hands, calls the fair catch at about the 40-yard line. And there's another mistake there, Doug. Looks like again on the punt where you're someone's looking up at the ball, trying to, cover. And I think a Bricky player decleated a Husky player, if you will.
Did he really?
I think so. And I'll be backing him up. Again, a play that was probably not to be, I think they're calling a block in the back there. Nonetheless, I looked up and I saw a Husky player on the ground and being on the side of the Husky faithful. I think they saw that one too.
Yeah, again, we mentioned it, but you're working out those nerves. Everybody's had the ball now, so see if they settle down and sustain a drive. That hurt. That would have been nice field position.
Yeah, they would have had the ball at the 40. Now that's going to be at the 30-yard line. Hobart again got their first down of the ball game via penalty. But now, again, that drive was stalled very, very quickly on an errant snap now. Tatum back to receive. Pickett off to his right. Man in motion. Looks out left. A little bit of a zig route there. A perfectly placed football. Stephen Miller there with the catch. A long developing route. A long throw there as well, Doug. I'm just happy that one got out of harm's way.
He had some zip on that, though.
Yep.
That was a nice little throw, and he put it in a spot where only his guy could get it. St. Joe was there.
Yeah, Tatum, we've seen his rushing ability. He has 183 yards to his name, 13 touchdowns, but he's just as gifted as a passer. Over 1,500 yards, 19 touchdowns to his name. And had a bunch of zip on that one. Now 2nd and 6, inside handoff to Pickett. Had a little bit of a crease there out to the left side, but got wrapped up there. Gain of about 3.
Yeah, I think he was one guy away there, Mike. He was close. There's number 55, Jackson Troster on the tackle, but if he gets by Troster, he's gone.
Troster, one of those leaders of this unit as well. I believe we heard Crinetti's name. He had quite the game against Mishawaka. A lot of inside the tackles, again, with the flex bone offense Mishawaka had last week. Those are the fun games to play, if you remember the defense. 2 receivers out wide, a little bit of miscommunication here.
A lot of movement here.
Under 10 seconds to go in the play clock. Now 3rd and 4. A lot of motion, like we said. Pickett coming in. Low snap. Tatum trying to make a play, but no. Gain of about 2. Had a good push there, but again, you got to pick up 4 yards. Just short again.
You wonder, you watch a lot of NFL, the way analytics are. A lot of teams are going for it here at this. I'm not saying early on in the game, but that 4th and 3 or 4th and 4, they're saying go for it, but not yet, Mike.
There's a lot of guys in motion again. Maybe setting up a play with Pickett again. He potentially could have received that jet sweep, but it was Alex Tatum calling his number. Not much going there now. 4th and 3, the second punt of the night for the Brickies. A line driver out left, trying to keep it away from the Huskies. Takes a little bit of a fortuitous bounce. That'll get out at about the 25-yard line, we will call it. Good punt there for Michael Claich, a sophomore.
Yeah, a nice directional punt. Using the turf to your advantage there.
Now 5:55 to go here. Stalemate, if you will. Again, these are two teams that are definitely kind of feeling each other out. One of the keys to the game that Eric Schreiber talked about was this was one of the first road games, the true road tests the Hobart Brickies have had. And they got to, obviously, all the baggage that kind of comes with that one, Doug.
But it depends on the team. Some teams, actually play better on the road. You kind of get away from people, and it's just you on the bus,
It's definitely an acquired skill. And now South Bend St. Joe take over for their second possession of the ball game. Inside handoff there, gain of a couple.
David Waite, the ball carrier.
But Hobart as well flexing their muscles in the run game.
Yeah, so far they're pretty predictable. Pre-snap they had a couple guys moving over, loading up that left side of the line, and that's where the ball went. I'm sure St. Joe's setting something up, and I'm sure the coordinators for Hobart are keeping an eye on that. But it's been pretty predictable here so far.
Yeah, Sketchetano, not much. I mean, he's more of a passer, but they're not a team that really throws the ball a whole lot. David Waite was the one on the carry there again. But again, a lot of different guys, Doug, and we'll talk about it throughout the broadcast, but there's a lot. Just get your athletes the ball, and they'll make plays.
Yeah, he's only got 91 attempts on the year.
And another penalty here. This will back up the Huskies. Pre-snap penalty. Backing up 5 yards now, 2nd and 12.
I don't think they're a team that wants to get behind the chains. You know what I mean?
No.
They want to stay on schedule, and again working out the kinks in here and a little bit of pressure.
And again, it gets to that point where you start looking at that third phase of the game, special teams, and we saw the last punt for South Bend St. Joe where Hobart could have had them out the 40, a penalty backed them up a little bit, but if Hobart forces them off the field once again, could get them in prime real estate. Just north of 5 minutes to go, 2nd and 12. Now here for the Huskies, another inside handoff with the man in motion. But a lot of gold hats at the football. Another gain, I'll say maybe 1 or 2 yards. David Waite on the carry again, getting the bulk of the action. But again, now a 3rd and 10, right where you want to be here for Eric Schreiber Jr. and his squad.
Yeah, you wonder if Hobart will pin their ears back and go after, the St. Joe quarterback and put some pressure on him. Because, as we mentioned, he's throwing it 91 times a game. That's less than 9 attempts a game.
And now you get to test this secondary of Bryce Tolliver, Nathan Subchinski, Stephen Miller as well. Some guys that have a nose for the football. TJ Irvin's a name to watch out for as well. 3rd and 9, back to pass, short pass, has a man in the flat, picks up a block, and a good gain there across the 50-yard line. There for South Bend St. Joseph, that is Austin Radigan.
Yeah, that was a blown coverage. Coach Schreiber's over there pleading with his secondary, trying to, you missed something. That was just a blown coverage.
Don't know if we got the replay there, if that was kind of a pick play when you have, again, when you got somebody that wide open in the flat there, Doug, and looks like we had some guys kind of fall down.
Yeah.
Who knows? He was wide open, and that's a big play right there in the middle of this first quarter. The first 4 seasons, first down there for South Bend St. Joe.
Hobart's got as we talked about their offense, their prolific offense. Their defense is pretty stout as well.
Man in motion once again. They're bowling to the right side.
Getting
picks
wide.
up a block. Shakes off a would-be tackler and picks up about 9 to 10 yards there. That is James Cornetti, a name we've called a lot on defense. And again, just another ball here there for the Husky squad.
Yeah, not only is he quick, that first tackler bounced right off him, didn't he?
Sure did. Another 4 seasons, first down there for the Huskies. Your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialist. That is 4 seasons mechanical in Maryville. Now just under 4 minutes to go. The Huskies putting together their best drive of the night. Again, a lot of jet sweeps, a lot of athletes to get the ball, put them in space, and more so, Doug, before they get going, got to give a lot of credit to those guys blocking out there on the perimeter.
Yeah, for sure. And I thought Hobart had him there, and then, like I said, the tackler just bounced off of him.
1st and 10, now under 4 to go. Another ball carrier here for the Huskies. Cuts it up inside, and watch out. Oh, almost runs into his own man there. That is Antoine Ross, the junior. The Huskies got something going now. Another jet sweep, bounced it back inside. And if not for another shoelace tackle, could have been a touchdown there.
Yeah, Bryce Tolliver in on the tackle, saving a touchdown. And as we mentioned, he's coming off a little limpy here. But with the depth that they have in the backfield, they just bring in another fresh set of legs.
Yeah, Ross, we did mention that. It looks like hopefully just a cramp with the junior wide receiver. He's good in the passing game, but also we saw his ability as a ball carrier. But not a good sign for the Huskies fans. But a 1st and 10 there. This time an inside handoff. And the turf monster gets him undefeated, if you will. That was number 20 there for South Bend St. Joseph. Will Solman, the freshman.
Yeah, Hobart was bringing the pressure, and they had a good job of containing a little counter play there. As we mentioned earlier, the way that the Hobart pursued, that counter play is working, and the St. Joe running backs are bouncing it back to the right.
Yeah, this is a big offensive line for the Huskies. Listed starters: Nick Ortiz, Fletcher Smith, Zachary Hardy, Will Trinter, and Jaden Snevely. One senior, Ortiz, in that group of 5. 2:40 here to go. Going to be a little bit of a pitch there. Scraping of the football, but a good gain there once again. That time I believe it was Solman, but you pointed to it, a flag on the field.
As that play was happening, I'm like, man, there's no way there's no holding going on right now. I mean, the receivers were out the downfield blocking, and they did call it.
Again, there are some solid receivers out wide, but maybe not that good against this tough Bricky secondary. Guys they're not afraid to tackle, Doug.
Well, yeah, and the receivers, and they have to be good blockers so as much as they run, and they only get in the ball. They're not getting many targets with less than 9 throws a game. But yeah, I saw those holdings happening on the both guys. I thought were doing it in the slot and along the sideline.
But a big penalty there to really kind of stall this drive. Now brings up a 2nd and 20 now. Ball on the 32-yard line. And on that last carry was the freshman, Will Solman, who had a good gain, but probably as a result of that holding.
Yeah, Mike, those safeties are up tight.
That's why they're going to throw here. A little bit of pressure here, back to pass.
Oh.
Just over the outstretched arms there. That's Dallas Downey, the leading receiver for this Husky squad.
Yeah, I'm sure St. Joe coaching staff sees that same thing, but, man, Hobart's still daring him to throw it. Now you got 3rd and long.
Yeah, we're going to ball at the 32-yard line, too. 12 to go here in this first frame. But, again, gotta wonder what's in the playbook here. They got a good special teams department. Special teams was a big part of their win last week.
Big play. This is one of those where you not maybe get all of it here. Stephen Miller, Hobart back, their safety is he cannot let anybody get behind him.
The Hobart Bricky is faithful, is loud and proud. Now a 3rd and 20. Going to be a smoke screen there to Downey. He has a couple blockers, but not enough there. Good gain of about 15 yards, but now that brings him 4th and 5 here.
Yeah. Again, you'll see what happens and see what kind of confidence St. Joe has in their offense here.
Chicatano put it right on the money ball. A little bit high, but good to make a throw, and most importantly to set up potentially the first points of the ball game here for the Huskies. Looks like they're going to try and kick this one. That is Ryder Place, who had a 2 field goals last week against Mishawaka in their victory. The senior kicker trying to get the Huskies on the board here first with about 1:30 to go. This opening frame. Ball on the 19-yard line. About a 36-yard attempt. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up. And the kick is good. Huskies get on the board first, 3-0. Doug and I will be back here. This is Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Life isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet moments that matter the most. Of effort, of a dream taking root. And behind those moments, there's trust. Thank you for trusting Centier Bank with those moments.
and making us a part of your story. Thank you for the opportunity to earn your trust.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
Back here for game night, built by Armour Construction. Huskies get on the board first. A Ryder Place 36-yard field goal with a senior kicker for the Huskies. The Hobart Brickies now look to respond with 1:22 to go. Mike DeWan, Doug Nelson on the call for you tonight on the IHSAA Champions Network, as well as the audio version on our usual platforms on Facebook, YouTube, and regionsports.com. The Huskies, Doug, as we'll get ready for this Quintel kickoff, but we'll get into how they got to that 3 points. A Quintel kickoff, Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. Another pooch kick there. This time gets his hands on it. Fair catch is called there by Hobart's. I believe that was Aiden Cash. Not letting one get by him, but the Huskies, a little bit more of that run game, a lot more success. Had a big pass on about a 3rd and 10 to pick up a big chunk play in that one. Had a man wide open in the flat. And again, special teams, big part of this game, especially this time of year, Doug.
Yeah, they had a big 3rd and 20 down here to be able to get in field goal range. So that little bubble smoke screen, as you called it, and execute under pressure.
That's right. And now the Brickies hoping to try and get really something going. Haven't really seen much of a chunk play yet. Again, 1 first down. That was via penalty. But again, still working out those jitters, still trying to get off of, kind of that bus lag, if you will. Get those, a long bus ride. Looks like another Wildcat here again. We've seen Pickett in this a lot. Takes a false step there and has a hole to the 30. 35, makes a man miss. And a first down there for Max Pickett.
Yeah, he really spread out the St. Joe defense there. And St. Joe didn't look like they were set.
Again, you kind of test your eyes in that one, Doug, and you remember the defense where, okay, who's the quarterback? Is that number 6 or number 2? And we saw Tatum line up out wide.
Right.
Pickett had that false step, a little bit of a counter. Had a hole wide open there, and again, a gifted runner. Only 8 games played, but over the 1,000-yard mark, 15 touchdowns to his name. Those are leading the Brickies. A 1st and 10, a 4-season mechanical. First down there, inside handoff once again to Pickett. Bounces back right. Good gain there. A couple black hats to the football. But winning first down. Did it once again there, Doug.
Yeah. Again, staying, as we mentioned, staying within the chains and staying second manageable. Right? Don't be too predictable. The playbook's wide open right there.
And that's what makes Hobart very dangerous, where they could potentially work on the play action. Now that's 2nd and 5 inside to Pickett once again. Gain of a couple.
Yeah, they're going a little hurry up, a little tempo.
We'll see that from the Huskies a little bit too, that there's not much of a huddle. They'll look to the sideline.
I think this is a big 3rd down here, Mike. Just for momentum's sake, right?
I would say so, and I wouldn't mind here if I'm Eric Shriver. Maybe that offense do not have to snap the football now. 18 seconds left, play clock of 20, but they are going to snap it. Give it to Tatum, and going nowhere once again, the Huskies take care of business.
I agree, and I agree with you about the clock management there. I don't know if I would have snapped the football. You have plenty of that's a free timeout,
The crowd got into it, and the Huskies rallied around their crowd, which will end the first quarter. This score, 3-0 in favor of the home team. We'll be back here. This is Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Back here live from South Bend St. Joseph High School for game night built by Armour Construction. Start of the second quarter. Hobart will punt it after a 4th and long 3. Alex Tatum was stuffed on the potential 3rd down conversion now. Snap looks good. Had a little bit of pressure back there. But a good directional punt once again takes a friendly hop, and that's a good start to the second quarter.
Yeah, it's that third phase you mentioned, and St. Joe's got the field goal, and we've had a few good punts already. And
Michael Klage having a day here so far, and all 3 punts have been very, very solid. That one there, the best one of the night.
Yeah, that ball just died. That was a good job.
The Huskies got on the board on their last drive with Ryder Place netting a 36-yard field goal. And again, this rushing attack is starting to kind of open up for the Huskies. But Hobart, the special teams comes into play here. Big chance to respond.
Yeah, and again, and then you kind of got St. Joe pinned back a little bit. See if you can take advantage of this field position.
Sketchetano back to hand the ball off inside once again. I believe Waite, the sophomore for the Huskies, was the ball carrier there. Not much going on first down.
Good mix of, as you mentioned, get them running outside and between the tackles.
Yeah, and they'll run that jet, Doug. We'll kind of see it tonight, but they'll bend it back inside. They'll bring that motion man in and kind of turn it into a zone. So, and before you know it, they're not afraid to turn that into a play action and sneak somebody out in the flat or sneak somebody out up the seam.
Right. And they've had some counters and misdirections as well.
2nd and 6, and we'll see a lot of motion as well. One receiver to the bottom of your screen. Inside zone once again. I believe that's Waite. Good pickup there once again of about 3.
3 yards a pop. That'll win you some ball games, Mike.
That's right, and more so, again, when you're up, again, you're getting the ball. We don't want to look too far ahead, but you get the ball out of the second half and want to try and limit opportunities, Doug, but set up a 3rd and very manageable. And Hobart, I wouldn't mind some pressure here and really try and stuff that run game to get ourselves off the field.
Yeah, sell out a little bit. Bring those safeties up.
Third and 2 here. David Waite still in the ball game, had 2 carries. Looks like we'll have our first time out of the ball game. That'll come at the hands of South Bend St. Joseph. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT. Back here on the Region Sports Network, this is Game Night, built by Armour Construction, Regional Championship at the 4A class, coming to you live from Father Blythe Field at South Bend St. Joseph High School. Now we stand at a 3rd and 2 for the Huskies, who got on the board earlier in the first quarter. More importantly, a chance for the Hobart defense to get off the field. Under center goes Sketchetano. Man in motion. Going to be a toss out left, getting some running room. I believe he'll have enough there. He will. Is David Waite on the carry?
Yeah, a little pitch to the left side. Just a little bit off tackle. But again, like I said, they're pretty predictable as far as loading up a side.
It's just kind of one of those things, Doug, where can you stop it? This is a big and ferocious offensive line that we mentioned for the Huskies.
Yeah, they kind of outnumber you, right? They kind of load that side up and go 4-on-3.
And very good blockers on the perimeter, and those tight ends and H-backs as well. 4 Seasons first down there for the Huskies. 1st and 10, now inside handoff to Waite. Some good push there. Gain of about 3 once again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you got the ball and the clock is your friend already.
Yeah, before you know, you take a blink, and we're at 9.5 minutes. That was a gain of actually about 5 yards for Waite, who's been really the bell cow so far for the Huskies. Coming into this game again, 261 yards to his name, 3 touchdowns. Again, a collective effort is this rushing attack for the Huskies. We've called a bunch of different names here tonight already, Doug. Now a 2nd and 5. Scacciatano gives it to Waite, and that time Hobart.
Look at them keep their legs driving, though. I love that.
Gets him back to the line of scrimmage. I believe in there was Logan Peters, the senior defensive end.
Yeah, again, that front four of Hobart's really going to have to step up, and those linebackers are going to have a good game. Because, as you said, St. Joe is not afraid to run between tackles. And then the secondary's got to be disciplined. Mm-hmm. Watch out for that jet sweep you're talking about.
Because, again, you get to this point here, Doug, now 3rd and 5. That playbook, it's, what do you do here? Are you really going to be that predictable? But I guess we should wait and find out. Ross is back in the ballgame for the Huskies. Scacciatano going to roll out right, going to throw it.
Oh,
and that time it's picked off there. Stephen Miller, good return there to the 11-yard line. Jumped the route. Testing this secondary. And the junior makes the play.
And I think that just shows, as we know, St. Joe's strong suit is their running game. And if Hobart can get him in position, Scacciatano, to throw the football, I think that helps out Hobart.
That is Miller's 4th pick of the season, and arguably the biggest of his junior season. A relatively younger secondary group, and a lot of guys that have played football last year. But Miller makes arguably so far the play of the ball game to set up this offense on a short field.
Yeah, I'm writing it down. That's a definite possibility if they can lead to 7 points here.
Now a little bit of window dressing once again here. Going to get heavy look. Max Pickett, the man in the backfield. Good gain there, running that Wildcat once again. Jumbo package, if you will, there, Doug. Gain of about 4.
Yeah, we saw this again last weekend with Crown Point,
yep.
But with Gibbs. But if that's broke, don't fix it. Keep it simple, right? Move him around and run him right and left.
Max Pickett had quite the week last week. A great story on him. His dad was a heck of a running back at Lowell High School, and he missed the earlier matchup between Hobart and Lowell in the regular season. Comes back for the sectional championship. Had a couple games before that, I think, as well. And talk about a special moment for Pickett, the senior, as well, to kind of win a sectional championship. Hobart's first since 2020, and beating his dad's alma mater.
I was going to say, I think him not being there had something to do with that outcome of Lowell getting him early.
You're going to throw this one, and a little bit of miscommunication there. Kind of one of those reads. Looking for Bryce Tolliver. Robbie had him in the flat there, Doug. Again, one of those bang plays you work on all summer for.
Mike, I'm a little old school that if running Pickett is working, why? Again, those guys are a lot smarter than me, but I'm just like.
Now we have a 3rd and 6. Ball is on the 9-yard line. You could hear the South Bend St. Joseph faithful. Got to make a play here.
Oh, inside handoff.
Inside handoff to Cash. Has a lane. Will pick enough for the first.
He's short.
Don't think he will get in.
What a play. I love the misdirection. That's old school stuff there.
You see that a lot more in today's game, Doug. I think they call it like a tornado sort of, and you fake the outside handoff, and a lot of practice there from the quarterback as well. Your footwork.
Well,
spin it back to Cash.
Yeah, it looked like St. Joe was thinking the same thing I was. That was going to be a Pickett, heavy on Pickett, and no one even thought of Cash going the other direction.
But more importantly, a 4 seasons first down, although not a touchdown. 1st and goal on the 1-yard line. Tatum back there. Pickett to his left. Jumbo package. Going to hand it off to Pickett. Takes a leap. He's in. Touchdown, Brickies. Max Pickett, his 16th score of the year.
That's got to be quite the relief, even with the great break that they got with the interception by Miller. But to be able to score on such a very strong St. Joe defense.
But like you said, all set up by Stephen Miller, the junior safety, jumping the route for his 4th interception of the year, and leave it to Pickett. 7:02 in this ball game. The ensuing extra point. This is Peter Janda. Snap looks good. Kick is up. Kick is good. Hobart, their first lead of the ball game. We'll be back here on Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Family owned and operated since 1969, Holiday Rent-A-Car offers a wide variety of newer model cars, vans, and SUVs. Free local customer pickup and drop-offs are available. Debit cards are accepted. Restrictions apply. All rental cars are for sale. Financing is available. Located at 3709 West 37th Avenue in Hobart, Holiday Rent-A-Car is open Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Call 219-942-8561 or visit them on the web at holidayrentacar.biz.
Back here for Game Night, built by Armour Construction. This is the Quintel Kickoff, special by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. Hobart kicking this one back off. Good boot there to the right side. Makes a couple false steps. Will return this one. Has a lane to the left side. Makes a man miss. Bounces back inside. And a good return there. That was number 10 there for the return for the Huskies. I believe that is, let me get a number on that. That is Ryan Ruskowski, the senior. But Doug, you and I were talking about at the break, a three-phase effort for the Brickies on their score. First the punt, then the interception from Miller, and then give it to Pickett to punch it in.
Yeah, again, as we mentioned, to win on the road against a very good team, you got to take advantage of those breaks. So far, they've done that.
6:55 to go in the first half. Inside handoff. And a good lane there. A big pickup for a first down. I think the ball might have jarred loose. I believe the Huskies got back on that one. That time, new ball carrier in the game. Looked like that was Solman, the freshman.
Yeah, St. Joe's creating some holes there. Their north-south run game is pretty effective right now.
It's a good mix. And we've seen a couple jets here and there, but right now, like you said, north and south in between the tackles. That is their bread and butter. This is a team that has over 2,000 rushing yards on the season, average 5.4 yards per carry. Inside handoff once again to the freshman. This time trying to bounce it outside, and Hobart says nada.
The beautiful tackle.
That's Subchinski.
Subchinski capping that end, right? Trying to turn him back to the middle. Really flying around here. I love the aspect of momentum.
Yep.
Right now, Hobart's really feeding off of that, and it just sways both ways. And we saw it last weekend with the Crown Point Penn game, and
all season long, all sports. That's how it is, right?
I love that. And if the teams that can fight through the lulls, those are the teams that can move in advance.
The 12th man, if you will. Now a 2nd and 11 man in motion to the bottom of your screen. Going to be another inside handoff to Solman, and the Brickies, like you said, the momentum is on their side. And that sideline and those bleachers over there pumped up.
Yeah, and again, you're putting Schicitano in a position where you might have to throw the football, and that's where Hobart wants him to be.
Yep, and that brings up, a 3rd and 12, so definitely a passing down, if you will. I think they have that one completion that went for a pretty big gain, maybe some broken coverage, maybe a man tripped, a pick play or whatnot. But going to have to dial one up here to keep some momentum on their side. Schicitano in the gun. Back to pass. Looks left. Has a man in the flat. Will take a deep shot. Nobody home.
Yeah, he kind of airmailed that.
Had a pretty solid pocket there. Hobart just, again, don't let anybody beat you. And mission accomplished. Forces another punt here with 5:01 to go.
Yeah, see if they can get the momentum. It'd be nice to get maybe a 2-score lead. As you mentioned, St. Joe gets the ball coming out at the half.
So the lone 3 points for the Huskies. Ryder Place is the punter. He will be punting to either Bryce Tolliver or Nathan Subchinski. Subchinski, 5'7", 145. Plays well beyond that height and weight.
Can't measure heart, man. Can't measure heart.
2 very solid DBs back there to return for the Brickies. both juniors as well. This one will go to Subchinski. Receive that, takes it out left. Wrestle down there, out of bounds. But like you said, the momentum now shifting to the guys in white. Bleachers are full over there. A couple of people standing on the fences, standing room only before you know it. I guess why not when it's regional football?
And it's beautiful out. You know?
Great location just outside of downtown South Bend. I believe we go a mile north, Doug, and we'll hit to Notre Dame. Not too far from there as well. So it's a very cool spot, very cool school as well. All renovated, I think, 2012, this whole facility, whole building as well. So it's
very spacious. It's beautiful. The parking was good. It was just a good setup.
But the Brickies are hoping to spoil the party as they come back on offense now. Inside hand. Oh, that'll be outside. That'll be Tatum. What a play there. So I believe that snap went to somebody else. Pitched it to Tatum. See a little bit of Ben Johnson-esque there. I see that on Sundays. Pitched it out to Tatum. Found Bryce Tolliver for the Four Seasons first down.
Yeah, Tolliver was still on his break. That was a great throw.
Those two junior classmates, they all 5 of Tatum's completions last week, they all went to number 18.
Yeah.
Those two work together. It's what summer's for, Doug. You know this. It's you spend those late nights, those early mornings working on routes like that.
Yeah, it pays off now.
This time Tatum is set to receive the snap on a 1st and 10. Looks left, a little bit of pressure there, trying to make something happen. But the Huskies get home.
I kind of thought they might have, St. Joe feels that momentum too. That would have been a perfect time for like a little screen pass, right? Dump it off. But you could tell St. Joe had their ears pinned back.
This is a Husky team, Doug, that lives in the backfield. Now 36 sacks on the season, 80 tackles for losses.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
In high school football.
There's a lot of guys that make their presence felt beyond the line of scrimmage and did it just there. Now setting up a 2nd and 17 now for the Brickies. Man in motion is Pickett. Inside handoff. Going to be reverse actually to Cash. And has a lane. Bounces back to the right side. Should be enough for a first. Good luck bringing them down.
Huge first down. Here I was thinking how conservative they're going to be. The clock's ticking. About 3.5 minutes left.
Again, we saw that there. Pickett was going to get the football. Then he handed it off right back inside to Cash. And 2 big carries there. Pick up a 19 there for Cash, the junior. Does a little bit of running, also much more a receiving threat as well. And, of course, a piece on that defensive side.
He's a big kid.
Yeah. Tatum this time going to call his own number to the right side. Has a lane. Another good pickup, about 9.
Yeah, Cash, 6'4", 225. What a weapon he is.
They got a couple guys coming back, too, and especially this guy under center, Alex Tatum, now making his presence felt as a runner.
I like the idea of going tempo, but you're getting to that point where take your time.
Clock will stop here after the first down, picked up once again by Tatum, who's now starting to kind of feel it.
Yeah, they found something that's working. I think they have St. Joe on their heels a little bit. But again, you don't want St. Joe to have to get the ball back this half. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Understand time and score.
But is this an offense, Doug? We haven't quite seen it yet, but can pick up those chunk plays. Hobart's done a great job at limiting some of those chunk plays. And who knows? Now you kind of get inside, your kicker's field goal range. Now you might be a little bit more methodical.
Yeah.
With 2.5 to go here on a 1st and 10. Empty backfield. Tatum's going to look left. In breaking route. Oh, boy. That was all red over there.
Wow. That was dangerous.
That was number 6, Martin Madden. The sophomore cornerback.
Yeah, he had 6 points.
Almost took that one to the casa.
Could have been the worst spot right in his hands.
A young defensive backfield for the Huskies as well. Riot Cross had a lot of time at his position at cornerback throughout the season. He's only a sophomore. A 2nd and 10, 2:19 to go. Man in motion is Pickett. Going to fake it to him, looking deep. Actually, a dump off screen to Cash. Breaks a tackle, almost breaks another.
There's that screen play I was calling for.
The play action screen.
Yeah,
Long developing play.
I think it's there. It's there. Third, about 7.
Cash, a tough target to miss, like you said, Doug. 6'3", 230. 8 catches coming into the game, 106 yards, 3 touchdowns. But a pair of big runs, and nice play there. Now under 2 minutes to go here, Doug. What do you like here from the Brickies?
I wonder how, again, it's one of those areas. Play it conservative, or are you going to put it in the air? I keep it on the ground, first of all. Keep it on the ground. You've been moving the ball with those misdirections and stuff, and with Cash and Pickett.
The junior kicker, Peter Janda, is slotted in line for the Brickies. Low snap there. Great from Tatum to recover. Throws it out to Pickett. Tries to bounce inside.
Great tackle.
But a form tackle there from James Cornetti.
Yeah, that was a really nice tackle. That was kind of a do or die. So what do you do here? I would run the clock down, first of all. Run the clock down, and then you're probably thinking field goal, huh?
I like that. I believe Hobart has all 3 of its timeouts.
Yeah.
I believe South Bend has 2 to their name. And
so that would be about a 40-yard field goal.
Looks like Hobart has already burned their timeout.
Okay.
So that'll be their first of the half. We'll keep it right here, Doug. It's been a relatively brief first half. South Bend St. Joseph got on the board. Their best offensive drive of the night, more so through the run game. And then Hobart really putting those 3 phases together. A great punt after being stalled. A big interception from Stephen Miller and Max Pickett punching it in. But kind of, I think, what we expected in this game. Definitely a chess match, a little bit of a lack of explosive plays, but right now Hobart with the upper hand here.
Yeah, so far.
And a chance to go into the break with some momentum, like you said.
Yeah, as you mentioned, those big plays are coming. You can feel them. Again, it's 4 quarters, and you wonder who's got still something up their sleeve,
I'm with you. We've seen a couple fun plays from the Hobart Brickies here so far.
Gadget plays, right?
A little bit. But the night is young, like you said. 1:09 to go here in the second quarter. Again, thank you all for joining us. This is Game Night built by Armour Construction for the 4A Regional Championship. Hard to believe we're at this point of the season. Week 13, before you know it, we'll be in the Dome, hopefully. Rooting on all the teams from across the state of Indiana, but more so, this is the Region Sports Network, so...
We got a chance for a couple teams down there.
We do. We got plenty of scores on the Strike Advance Hometown scoreboard as well, so feel free to take a look at that.
They're going for it here, Michael.
They're going for it. 4 Seasons, 4 down territory presented by 4 Seasons Mechanical, and more importantly, Max Pickett is the man in the gun. I believe Tatum's out wide. Pickett's going to run to his left. A lot of yards to gain there, Doug.
I don't know about that, man.
And the Wolves stuffed that one out. Or the Huskies, excuse me.
I kind of thought maybe they would try to draw him offside. Hard count him and then call it one of your other timeouts and then kick the field goal. But as far as play calling go, you're running right into the strength of St. Joe's defense.
I wonder if there was
a mix-up?
Or I thought of maybe a jump pass or something there from Pickett. Now, a little Tim Tebow action.
There you go.
No, nothing quite there. The Huskies get off the field, and like you said, that stout run defense, that's a lot of yards to pick up there for Pickett. Now Hobart turns the ball on down and sets up this offense.
Yeah, he was on his own. There wasn't a whole lot of blocking going on there.
Now let's see what the Huskies can do. Skicitano way off the mark there, intended. For that was Evan Balint.
Yeah, he just launched that again.
Yeah, it has very tough, I can imagine, Doug, to get in rhythm in an offense that runs the ball like that.
Sure.
When you're a quarterback, you want to try and keep your arm loose and really kind of get in that flow state. But when you're throwing the ball once every X amount of plays,
yeah, he was over on the sideline staying warm, But as you mentioned, it's got to be hard.
Minute 2 to go. Again, they could double dip here, the Huskies. They get the ball coming out of break, trying to maybe win that middle 8, which is so important. Jet sweep. This will go to Antoine Ross. Preston Perez there in on the tackle, gain of about 2.
Yeah, I thought the Hobart end did a great job there. Miles White turning that back to the middle. Who's going to call a timeout? Maybe Hobart calls a timeout.
No, we'll play a little timeout game. So that'll be, I believe that's the second for Hobart.
Yep.
So now, you bring up a 3rd and 7. Yeah, I don't mind if they're dug at 3rd and.
I know, it's one of those that's like.
Danged if you do, danged if you don't, right?
I know. Well, if St. Joe looked pretty content running it into halftime and to go in if they would have said, hey, Coach Schreiber, you're going to have the lead going into the locker room, would you be content with that? But you don't want to give St. Joe any ideas here. So if I'm St. Joe, I'm probably playing it pretty safe.
I'd say so. Maybe make Hobart burn that final timeout, right?
Yeah, the way Skitchentato's been throwing the football, and that I know he's got to have a short memory, but that pick is still in his head.
Right, it's going to linger, especially in a game of this magnitude. Have a big shout out before we get going. The IBEW Local 697 Electrifying Plays. Check them out on the web, regionsports.com, Facebook/RegionSportsNation, or on Instagram, Electrifying Plays, presented by IBEW Local 697, the Electrical Professionals. 3rd and 7, 51 seconds here to go for the Huskies. Little bit of window dressing there. I believe Ross is behind Sketchetano. And Ross will take the handoff, trying to bounce out left, hoping to stay in bounds. I believe he'll be just short.
Out of bounds.
And most importantly, he's out of bounds there, Doug.
Yeah. See if they punt it and give Hobart see what they decide to do.
Hobart, Dan, has that one timeout to their name. But yes, a 4th and 1. Good run there for Ross, but just not enough. Looks like the punt team will be out on the field for the Huskies.
Yeah, I think you have to. See if you bring the house if you're Hobart. If you're Hobart here also, you want to watch the football. You don't want to get drawn off sides.
Or watch for a fake, or, anything goes kind of in this time of year. Bryce Tolliver and Nathan Sobczynski hoping to try and make a dent the final minute of this first half. Line drive there. That'll go to Sobczynski. Not much going there. Looked like Tolliver was almost keeping a pitch relationship there right there. Look at a little double pass, trying to have something going there, but good job there from the Huskies to cover that one. Now here we go. 37 seconds left. Ball on the 37-yard line. One timeout to Hobart's name. What do you want to see here, Doug? Haven't seen much in the passing game from the Brickies.
I say you play it safe. At this point, right now, there's no sense in as you said, run and pick it up the middle. And sometimes your first play will dictate how antsy you are with second down. But if St. Joe's content to take it to halftime, I would say let's take it to halftime.
Well, from what it's worth, Pickett is out wide at the top of your screen, to the near side of the screen. I believe that is Tolliver. And Tatum is alone in the backfield. A little bit of window dressing once again there. A little bit of a jumbo package to the far side of the field. Tolliver in motion, going to hand it off to Tolliver. Trying to get to the outside. Not much going there. Communication maybe a little bit off there, kind of waiting for the handoff. A couple more steps to go.
Yeah.
I think right there, Doug, that kind of paints the picture that we're probably going to go in a half with the lead here.
Right. You use first down to see what happens, and if nothing's there, then be happy going into halftime with a lead, man.
And that is what will happen. So we will take a break, but your halftime score reads Hobart 7, South Bend St. Joseph 3. We will have the Commissioner's Corner. Then Doug and I will break down the first half. We'll be back here. This is Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports, here's Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome into our weekly conversation with the Commissioner. It's the Commissioner's Corner. I'm Brendan King with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Paul, just talking off the air about the girls volleyball state finals this past weekend over at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Well attended, great games played. You were there. What's your reflection on the girls volleyball state finals in downtown Indianapolis and the experience that everybody got to have?
Well, I think first of all, our Gamebridge Fieldhouse has been billed as the greatest field house in the country, and I think it actually one more time lived up to that billing. And it's not just a basketball event or a concert event. I mean, this is their second event with a volleyball there, and they transitioned that facility into an incredible volleyball atmosphere. Couldn't be happier with the way it turned out. And we crowned 4 champions. We had incredible attendance. We were almost 6,500 on the day, which is a really good number. We hope to continue to grow that.
Now, it's always busy season at the IHSAA, but especially now as we're in this month of November with things transitioning from the volleyball state finals into girls and boys basketball, both getting underway soon. We'll talk about that shortly, Paul, but of course the regional round of this year's IHSAA football state tournament coming up this Friday, and that of course will lead the semi-state, and we're just a couple weeks away from crowning state champions over at Lucas Oil Stadium. You know, it's official, as we talked about a couple weeks ago. Miles McDonald McLaughlin from Knox is the state's new all-time leading rusher, passing Charlie Spiegel's mark from New Palestine. And Knox and Miles McLaughlin are going to play for a chance this Friday to get to the semi-state round. We talked about this a few weeks ago too, Paul, about the Indiana athlete and how it continues to grow and make landmarks in this country. What can you say about it? Because it almost looked like at times Charlie Spiegel's record was going to stand the test of time until Miles McLaughlin came in. So what's your reaction to that happening and just the strength of the Indiana athlete continuing to show that they can break records?
Well, you love it when a community, a student, a kid that is part of a community has an opportunity to advance to the big stage, and this is the big stage. When Derrick Henry mentions you in one of his podcasts, I think you've made it, and so it's incredible. But, we have kids across the board that compete at a very, very high level on the national scene. Indiana is just a special place to grow up and participate in an education-based athletic system. The stories being captured. We talked a little bit today in the office about, when Damon Bailey captured Indiana, and then Romeo Langford, and there's Charlie Spiegel did for his time. And this young man has got his time on the big stage and has captured the attention of the state of Indiana. It's just so special that matters here in Indiana, because it doesn't everywhere.
It's incredible. Paul Neidig, the commissioner of the IHSAA, with us on the Commissioner's Corner. I'm Brendan King. Paul, as we talked about, girls basketball games are underway. The first practice for boys basketball was held just a few days ago prior to us talking on this podcast and this section of the Commissioner's Corner, and the first games will be played on November 24th. So just as you get set for the high school basketball seasons, girls and boys, anything on your mind as you're heading into, whether that's rules, regulations, or just what you're looking forward to this year?
Well, I look forward to, it's that time that we need to move indoors. We're certainly going to have incredible weather for the football this weekend, but the snow hit this past week, which signals it's time to go inside. And with our swimmers and with our wrestling, boys and girls, and boys and girls basketball, it's time to enjoy those other facilities and go in where it's warm. And again, no matter what we participate in, it's one thing that just I enjoy is watching kids who are part of the fabric of a community, in most cases grow up in those communities and have an opportunity to put that uniform on and showcase their particular time, because it doesn't last forever, but it's such a formative position or a formative place in kids' life that they learn so many lessons that allow them to grow and contribute back to their communities. And so for me, it's the same every time we go somewhere. It's that opportunity for kids to participate with their school uniform on.
Paul, appreciate the time as always, and we'll talk to you next week.
We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to The Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig, and thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
Back here on the Region Sports Network, this is game night built by Armour Construction, 7-3 in favor of the Hobart Brickies. Doug, before we get into it, we'll talk about our Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboards. Got plenty of updates for you, all from our neighborhood Strachan Van Til Food Market. Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Follow all of tonight's Region football scores live on the hometown scoreboard, streaming on youtube.com/Region Sports, facebook.com/Region Sports, and regionsports.com. Let's get into it. The Knox Redskins in a barn burner in the 3A Regional, 14-14 in the second quarter. Knox coming in at 5 in the poll. Twin Lakes up 7-0 over Fort Wayne Lures. That's on the other side of the 3A. How about Miles McLaughlin, Doug? Oh, my goodness.
He's got video game numbers, man.
You think?
He's unbelievable.
Featuring on shows and by the NFL and stuff like that. By
he
NFL
was offered
person.
by Ball State.
I did see that, too, as well, and rightfully so. Fort Wayne Dwenger, a big one to look out for in this game. The winner of this game plays the winner of this one between Fort Wayne Dwenger and Lebanon. 29-7 in the second quarter in favor of Dwenger. Maryville and Michigan City, two region teams, 10-0 in favor of the Pirates. That one just getting underway in the first quarter. Lafayette Jefferson taking on Concord, a battle of 4v6 in the poll. Concord up 21-14 there in the second quarter game at Concord. And at the 6A, Carroll up 21-9 over the nearby Penn Kingsman. That game being played at Penn, and Fisher's down 13-3 to Westfield. We'll take a look at the 1 and 2A scores as well. Pioneer up 21-0 on LaVille. LaVille having a Cinderella run, but Pioneer is the real deal. North Miami up 14-13 over the 10th-ranked South Adams Starfires. Andrean, a game on the Region Sports Network, on the Champions Network, and on our YouTube, Facebook, and website. Andrean up 24-6 on Southmont, trying to punch their ticket to the semi-state round. And winner of that one plays the winner of Eastbrook and Adams Central. And the Flying Jets up 21-14 in the third quarter. That'll do it for our Strack and Van Til scoreboard update. Feel free to take a look at our live stream on YouTube, on Facebook, and regionsports.com and Instagram. That is the Strack and Van Til hometown scoreboard. Doug Nelson and I will be back to break down the first half. Again, your halftime score reads 7-3 in favor of the Brickies. We'll be back here. This is Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, my name is Mark Macknick. I'm the owner of Mark Macknick CPA firm in Highland, Indiana on Kennedy Avenue. I've been working with Region Sports for years now. Started working with Chris years ago, just on some special projects, advertising here and there. After a while, kind of increased the advertising. Mainly was doing it for the community involvement. It's such a great network and program they do with the high school sports. But as time went by, I started getting on there more frequently. And then the phone starts ringing. And I was getting calls all the time from people. Hey, I saw your ad on so-and-so football game. I saw your ad on a basketball game. And it's really helped my business. It's increased the volume. We're a tight community in Northwest Indiana, sports-wise, and just a lot of community involvement. So that's mainly why I got into it. I remember watching one game. It was a basketball game, and I think there was a little bit of an altercation. And as the altercation was happening, my ad was right on the bottom, and someone typed in, "I wonder what Mark Macknick's thinking right now." And I was thinking, wow, this is awesome. It's really been a great feature for my business. It's the only advertising I do. I don't advertise anywhere else other than Region Sports. It's for the business, but mainly for the involvement with the community. I played high school baseball here in Highland, and ever since I've been advertising on Region Sports, a lot of my old coaches are now my clients. A lot of my old teammates come in here. My recommendation, if you're a business here in Northwest Indiana, I think Region Sports is, for your money, it's one of the best places that you can advertise. I mean, I can advertise on billboards. I could do anywhere I want to. And I choose Region Sports mainly because I get a lot of feedback, especially on the high school level. A lot of the parents, if they can't make a game, they're watching it online. They're watching a replay, the grandparents. So it's done wonders for my business, and it's my go-to for advertising. It's the only spot I would advertise. So if you're a business owner in the area, really look into advertising on Region Sports. It's going to be well worth your money, and you'll make tenfold on what you're spending. Region Sports Network, they're the only game in town, but they're more than just a game.
Welcome back to Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network. As you take a look at that South Bend skyline, yes, that's a skyline as we are here at Layton Stadium at Father Blythe Field here at South Bend St. Joseph High School. Mike DeWan alongside me, Doug Nelson, breaking down the first half for you all now. 7-3 reads your score in favor of the Hobart Brickies. Doug, we were kind of talking about it as we kind of exited the first half, that we might have envisioned this where it was definitely going to be not a shootout in this one, a game of a lot of rushing attempts in this one. What defense is going to wear the harder hats? And the way that kind of the first quarter ended, it was kind of South Bend St. Joseph. Then Hobart obviously put together some complimentary football and entered the half, with the lead. Yeah,
as you mentioned, I think it's going to come down to, and a lot of it had there was the game in the trenches. Hobart moved the football a little bit with Pickett going wildcat, and there was a little trickery, some inside handoff and misdirection, but Hobart took advantage of the turnover that they got, and that's what you're supposed to do. And right now they're the defense right now. The Hobart defense is pretty stout.
Two very stout defenses all across the board, both giving up, I believe, less than 10 points a night, and potentially tracking here this evening against South Bend St. Joseph. Got on the board on a 36-yard kick from Ryder Place. And then the Hobart Brickies responded with an interception from Stephen Miller, and Max Pickett punched it in once again for his 16th score of the season. We'll start with Hobart. Doug, what do you want to see from them in the second half? Now has that 4-point cushion, but has to get on the field first defensively and try to stop this South Bend Husky offense.
Yeah, you got to, again, the chess match will be interesting.
Yeah.
See what adjustments both teams make. But if you're Hobart, it's way too early to take your foot off the gas. You can't just wait for the clock to run out. And I think it's going to take more, than 7 points to win the football game. But so you got to find a way to move the football on offense, and Tatum and Pickett have done a good job of that.
And for South Bend, looking at the other side of the coin here, Doug, we saw one good drive from them. They had a big chunk play on a third down pass, had a couple good jet sweeps, a couple good things in between the tackles, but not much to show for it after 3 points. What do maybe they want to try and get back to, or try and, again, that first drive, very, very crucial this time around.
Yeah, if you're a St. Joe fan, you got to stay within the sticks.
Yeah.
Right? They got behind the sticks on a couple, maybe a holding penalty, or, you get second long and third and long with Skitchitano, and it just hasn't boded well so far. The one big play was a Hobart blown coverage, and as we mentioned, Coach Schreiber was, talking with the secondary about that. It looks like they got that squared away, but yeah, they do move the pocket for Skitchitano, but that's where Hobart wants them, is third and long.
Keep them off of schedule. We could only wait and find out. Just about under 3 minutes to go. We'll step aside here. This is Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. For 26 years, Armour Construction has been beautifying homes across Northwest Indiana. From expert roofing and durable siding to eye-catching custom copper work, Armour Construction does it all with the highest quality and integrity. Serving Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties, trust the best exterior construction company in Northwest Indiana to protect your investment.
Ava, let's go.
Try it on.
The shortest distance between two people is a smile. That's why we're committed to fighting hunger in our communities until everyone has a reason to smile. Strack and Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
If you are injured in a worksite accident or hurt by a defective product, go with the guy that has a proven track record litigating these cases. Otto Schregel, a principal partner at the Allen Law Group, will make sure those responsible for hurting you are held to account for their negligence. With multiple offices in Indiana and Illinois, you could reach them at 219-465-6292 or reach them out on the web at www.kenallenlaw.com. At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Back here at Layton Stadium, north of 2 minutes until the second half begins. This is game night built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network between Hobart and South Bend St. Joseph for the 4A Regional Championship. We have a good Notre Dame anthem playing here, Doug. We're not too far from the campus. Doug, I know you're a Notre Dame fan. I'm a Notre Dame fan. Give me maybe a Mount Rushmore Notre Dame players.
I'm always my favorite is Rocket Ismail. He was my guy.
We might have talked about this before.
I'm showing my age, but Rocket Ismail, Jerome Bettis, the bus. Those guys. Tony Rice, the old option quarterback time.
Right, different times. I was a Manti Te'o guy. That was my childhood, and seeing them, what they did, and obviously falling to that tough Bama team, but that makes you want to play linebacker, seeing how Manti Te'o played. And, only less than a mile from Notre Dame Stadium, so that's super, super cool. But we're worried about what's happening here at Layton Stadium. Again, a couple more minutes until the second half. Again, Doug, you and I were talking as we kind of put a bow on this first half. Again, teams still feeling each other out, not many explosive plays, but a crucial first drive right here coming out of the break for the Huskies and for the Brickies.
Right. You talk about the last few minutes of the first half and the first few minutes of this half are very important for both teams. And, both teams, again, they were showing some nerves here in the first half. And see if they work those kinks out and let it play out here. We got to, it could go any way.
No doubt about it.
You know what I'm saying? Anything could happen here.
And besides having a winner in this game, we also have to pick 3 winners for our 3 award winners. Got to give a big shout-out first off to the Crow Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. They have offices open from 9 to 7, Monday through Friday, and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. We also have the Blue Collar Player of the Game presented by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. And finally, maybe something we haven't seen quite yet here, Doug, the Proud to Be Union Play of the Game presented by Iron Workers Local 395. To find out how you can become a union iron worker, visit ironworkers395.com. Doug, any final thoughts as we enter potentially, again, one team with a chance to punch their ticket to the Final Four, another team, again, got 24 minutes to play for.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who kind of opens things up. You can't play tight and play not to lose. You got to leave it all out there right now.
You said it best. That'll do it for the first half coverage, the halftime coverage, if you will. Again, Mike DeWan, Doug Nelson here on the call. Zach Chanelli's the man behind the keys, and the man behind the lens is Thomas Marsh. Also, big shout-out to Zach Miller back at the studio for getting us up on the air for the audio broadcast. In case you're tuning in there, thank you all. The viewers, the listeners, you let us do what we do, but you guys are all watching. Armour Game night built by Armour Construction for roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Call Armour Construction, 219-987-2023. So now we are gearing up for the second half as Hobart will boot this one away. A little bit of Seven Nation Army to get us right, as this is a Quintel kickoff to get things going for the second half, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994.
Mike, next. Have you gone? We've mentioned it real quick. Have you been to a lot of Notre Dame games?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next
time this announcer talks, you tell me if he sounds like it. And we're pretty close, man. It's a possibility. All right. So next time he talks,
they are away this week, so they do take on Pitt. So maybe this is kind of okay.
Just listen. It just dawned on me. I was like, hey, that dude sounds familiar.
He's doing double duty.
Yeah.
Well, this ball is kicked deep to South Bend St. Joe's, trying to keep that ball in bounds. It will stay in bounds. Gets it about the 25-yard line. Good return there on the far side of the field, I believe, on the return there for South Bend St. Joseph. That was Ruskowski.
They are pretty close to breaking that.
Ruskowski, kind of that rover, a little bit more of a defensive back for the defense, has 60 tackles to his name, 3 picks, and obviously one of the top kick returners. But in comes the Husky offense trying to get something going. Really one good drive to show for and only 3 points to their name. as we get going. Sam Sketchetano, the quarterback, and off to his right, that looks like number 25, David Waite.
Yeah, with this movement, they've been running it to the left to see if they switch it up here eventually.
They will go to the left side. And decent gain there. One thing we saw a lot from South Bend St. Joseph is they were winning first down.
Yeah.
That's something they got to, like you said, stay ahead of the stick, stay on schedule. Logan Peters there looked to be the guy in the tackle.
Yeah, if you're a St. Joe fan, again, just stick with what has helped you all year, right? But, you want to, if you're Hobart, again, take that away. Key on that. There's some tendencies there that you can jump on.
This brings up a 2nd and 7 now. This time a jet. No, it's going to be that will be a jet sweep. Ross there on the handoff. Antoine Ross. Sketchetano did a good job of selling that fake. I thought he kept that one, but Ross was the one on the carry. Gain him about 3 to 4.
Yeah, number 0, Logan Peters, kind of like as you mentioned earlier, kind of forced that back toward the middle, kind of cut the edge, and you wonder if Sketchetano is going to keep that one time, right?
Who knows? Again, that's one of the things that go back to the sideline if you do, and hey, maybe look for that next time. You may have a read on that play, and we trust you to make a couple plays with his legs, although he only has 22 rushing yards to his name. But more importantly, a 3rd and 3 now on the first set of downs here for the Huskies. Couple guys in motion.
There you go.
Load up that left side. Another handoff inside. A good push there. Did he get enough?
Come down to the spot. He's short about half a yard.
I think they'll give it to him. Or maybe they'll measure. David Waite, the ball carrier. But, yeah, they're not doing anything differently here, Doug. They are loading up that left side, and they're going to run it to that left side.
Yeah, just a numbers game.
Yep. Nick Ortiz, Fletcher Smith round out that left side of the offensive line.
I think it's 4th and about half of maybe the length of the football.
They are going to mark him short. Yes, they are. This is Four Seasons Mechanical Down territory. I'm going to say this now.
Right? They're going to measure.
Okay.
But I think it's about the length of the football.
It's close. Or the note card. You've seen that,
right.
clip. Gene Steratore. Yep, great one. But this is close. Cameraman Thomas Marshall. Get you the shot as he always does.
Way to go, Tom. He's short.
And Hobart initially says, might be a note card there.
My goodness.
Chain link.
They're going to go for it. You're going for it.
I think you do here. Yeah, this is about as close as you could get. But I'm going to hammer this read now. This is Four Seasons Mechanical Down territory. They've entered Four Seasons Mechanical 4-down territory presented by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com. As we know, offense stays on the field. One of the bigger plays of the night here so far for the Huskies.
I always wondered, Mike, why if you got a 4th and a foot, why are you not under center?
That's a big topic of discussion for most offensive schemes nowadays, but we're here now. A couple guys in motion, loading up that left side. High snap, going to give it to him. Should have enough, and he will. And a couple more. Bounces back inside. A much bigger gain than the 1 yard he needed. First down there, Huskies. That's David Waite once again.
Yeah, they shift to the left. They bring the muscle over to the left, and they just follow them, follow the blockers. And if you're Hobart, pick up on that and try to take something away.
I will say this Husky offense has a lot of very young pieces on the offensive line, as well as David Waite, again, the sophomore. He's shown a couple flashes, and you got to have that vision where, again, you're loading up that side of the offensive line, and the defense probably knows it's coming, but you have to make a play.
And the running back, he does a good job of staying low. He's staying low to the ground, and it's kind of hard to see him. I mean, he's not a big guy.
That's a Four Seasons first down on the Four Seasons 4-down territory now. Big play there on the 34-yard line. This will be a jet sweep. Haven't seen this too much today because Hobart keeps snuffing it out. That was number 8, the ball carrier, Connor Gallagher. First time we've heard his name tonight for the Huskies.
Yeah, Terry Irvin was in on that tackle again. The defensive ends down there really turning the ball back to the middle and giving the rest of the Hobart defense a chance to catch up.
Yeah, this Hobart defense, again, a little bit of an older group. We talked about Preston Perez, one of those seniors, Logan Peters as well, Aiden Cash, although a junior, just a big body, and Josh Diaz, Von Jones. A couple other cats out there that really make things tough for a rushing team like this.
Yeah, and they have got the team speed to guard sideline to sideline, don't they? They get to the football.
They could fly. Ball on the 34-yard line now, just north of 9 minutes to go. Overloading that left side again. We'll give it to the left side. Tries to bounce it out. Gain of about 2 or 3, but Hobart does a great job there. Logan Peters, the aforementioned Peters, in their first. David Waite back in the ball game with the carry.
3rd and long. There's that play. Again, you wonder if St. Joe's going to go in the air and play it safe and stay on the ground, because 3rd and long is not where they want to be. Sketchetano has struggled on this down, and he's airmailed a couple, and I think he's competed. The one he completed, like you said, was a blown coverage for Hobart. It was a little swing pass.
Yep, had the 3rd down. Then he also had, remember, that 3rd and 20 over here, Doug. That set up the field goal.
Yeah.
Had that kind of smoke screen. May see something similar here. Ball on the 32-yard. They maybe want to try and at least set themselves up.
There you go. There's that movement to the left.
This time going to be a reverse.
There it is. Hobart was sitting on it.
No can do. Aiden Cash.
Yep.
Money on that play.
Hobart was sitting on it, just waiting. And Cash was, he did a good job of staying disciplined. He's got some reads there. 4th and long.
You see the motion, Dog. I think you and I are both kind of thinking they're going to go to the left side, try to pick up a couple of yards. A good play call there. And again, like you said, that discipline, though, from Cash to stay home, read your keys, and take care of that reverse.
Yeah, it's a good idea by St. Joe, but a better execution by the Hobart defense.
Now we get into this gray area. 4th and 10, ball on the 34-yard line.
So what do? Do you
trust your punter to kind of put it in that?
You kind of maybe try to draw them off sides and get your punter more room. Take the flag. I think that's what they're doing. Are they going to? Well, they're burning a timeout.
St. Joe calls a timeout.
That's interesting.
That could be a big one. And I'll tell you what, this Hobart faithful, and got to give a big shout out because I know who the coach is because I see him. He's in shorts. He's always wearing shorts, and that's Eric Schreiber Jr. He is pumping this crowd up all 3 quarters here so far. He's getting his fans and getting the 12th man, the Bricky faithful, in this ball game. We'll keep it right here, Doug.
Yeah, they did a good job of traveling. They're here. They were here early and filled those bleachers. I
think we see some students as well making the trip out here to South Bend. Good little student section there.
They brought like a student bus, you think?
I think I did see that, yeah. More schools should do that if they have the resources and can do that. I mean, to have the students, because, these drives are tough, right? And you got so many kids that have their license, at that point in time.
Pay $5 and
sure,
pay for the gas and the driver. And
watch a dang good football game.
Why not?
But now 4th and 10, now 2 timeouts left of potentially the season for South Bend St. Joseph, burning their first one here with 7:34 to go.
Yeah, if you're Hobart, you want to watch the football. You don't want to help St. Joe out.
Like we said, your offense still on the field. 4 Seasons Mechanical, 4 down territory. Sketchetano back to pass, initially looking right. Double move, has a man open.
Oh my. How is he that open?
And he missed him. It's a double move, the pump and go, right? You run somebody right behind him.
Wow.
And at that point, you just got to put it right on the money, and Hobart escapes one there.
That was 6 points there for St. Joe if he puts it in his hands.
Could have walked right, and as you see the replay there, just over the outstretched arms, going to be a throw that the junior will want back, but you got to flush it.
You got to finish. Hobart. Yeah, you got to finish for Hobart.
You take over, right? I mean, that's whew.
Yeah, you're living right. But again, you just that's when you got to take advantage of those plays, and Hobart's done that so far.
And
in a game when we knew it was going to come down to few scores, those are the plays you got to finish.
And I don't know, Doug, about you, but I wouldn't mind maybe some sort of kind of kill shot here. Momentum really shifts. As this going to be a handoff to Pickett, and not much of a kill shot there, especially with the play of this defensive back for the Huskies, James Cornetti, a name we've called all night. Getting Pickett there in the backfield.
Yeah, I think he's got to get a heavy dose of the football here in the second half, right?
Picks up a loss of one there. Cornetti, name we called all night, the junior safety. Good size and speed, 6 foot 200, pretty big safety, but obviously not afraid to tackle. Pickett now the man still in the gun.
They just subbed a guy in. They only have 10 guys on the field. St. Joe, did you see that, the sub?
I did not.
He's running in. Do you see the...
But nonetheless, it looked like a high snap there and an inside handoff to Cash. South Bend St. Joe saw that right away, Doug. After a good drive from the Huskies, Hobart takes over and avoids, what could have been a touchdown. Now quickly a 3rd and 14 for the Bricks.
Yeah, I'm counting heads for the St. Joe defense. One kid flew on really late right there. there was some confusion in the secondary because there was 3 receivers on this side.
This time Tatum is in the gun, reads his wristband. 3 receivers out to the far side with Pickett off to his right. Going to be a play action, has a good amount of time, can't find anybody. Will chuck it deep for Tolliver. No can do. Trying to work his way back to the football, but Ryan Ruskowski there on the coverage.
He threw into like 3 guys there. There was like 1 or 2 guys on a route there.
One of those kill shot plays. They've connected on that play, I think, a couple times there. They run a great play action game when you have a runner like Max Pickett to really kind of open that up. But
yeah,
Ryan Ruskowski on the coverage there, all 5'8", 165 of him. Name we've called quite a few times. Now looks like back for the Huskies on the return here. We'll get that. I believe that's Dallas Downey. As the punt is away to the right side, we'll take a bounce at about the 42, take a Hobart bounce, and get out at South Bend's 36-yard line. Big response there from the Huskies to get off the field.
Yeah, again, I would expect nothing less with, as we've said, bragged about both defenses here tonight. And yeah, Hobart put it in the air. It looks like it kind of slipped out of his hand a little bit, Tatum. It didn't look like a very good ball.
Had a decent amount of time, but eventually kind of the pressure caught up with him, and then at that point, yeah, he just had to kind of get it up there. And we talked about the South Bend's quarterback and how he's got to kind of stay warm. Tatum hasn't had to throw the ball too much either.
Yeah.
His first throw in quite some time. His first throw of the half, obviously. As we get now to 5:56 to go here in the third quarter. South Bend's second drive. Had a good first drive. Couple big plays, couple big runs. But nothing to show for it. This time a pitch to the left side. That'll be Waite, bounces back inside. Gets just maybe 1 yard past the line of scrimmage. But Hobart snuffs that one out.
Yeah, again, I know I keep saying it, but they're doing a really good job of setting that edge.
Yeah.
That was number 3, Terry Irvin. Really allows the backers to come and finish the tackle. So they're executing that, and they're prepared for it.
Josh Diaz as well, 101 total tackles. A big linebacker, also goes both ways. One of the guys on the offensive line as well for that Hobart squad. But not easy to do. Playing both ways.
It's kind of got a feeling of who's going to shoot themselves in the foot. Who's going to make the first mistake here in the second half.
This time back to pass is South Bend, and that's over the head once again. Could not get much going. The intended receiver there for South Bend, that was number 14. That was going to go to Evan Balint.
Yeah, Sketchetano let another one sail.
Similar throw we've seen, too, kind of that out-breaking route. Had him open.
It's up yards. High. Yeah, but it's up high and long.
Once again, now we've seen this a couple times already, really all game, but a 3rd and long. You get behind schedule. And the Hobart fans getting into it. Sketchetano receives the snap, looks right, going to be a screen, has a couple blockers. That should be enough. That'll be close as the helmet rolls off. But on the catch there is Wade. Good play call there. And more importantly, a first down. And oh, goodness, we look at the helmet that rolled off. I believe that was one of the linemen there for
downfield blocking for that screen, huh?
Looks to be okay. One of the scary plays when you see a helmet roll off, gets up and pops up looking for his helmet. He looks to be all good and looks to be number 59 of South Bend St. Joe. That is Zachary Hardy, the center. So at the very, looks like he's, nope, so I believe subbing in is Jackson Kelly, who at least has a sub in for a play at center, of course, as well. So that's going to, could be something to note.
If he's your center and he's punching the bleachers, obviously looks like he tore up his hand there, Mike, but
he's getting rewrapped. But also, again, with his helmet coming off, you at least got to miss a play.
Yeah, but you're the center, man. You're going to have the ball in your hand.
Now they're going to go under center, toss right to Waite. Tries to cut it back inside. Good gain there. Once again, winning first down there. The Huskies pick up about 4.
Yeah, Hobart's got to tighten up.
Yeah, so far, I've liked what I've seen from this offense from the Huskies.
Yeah.
They're kind of starting to wear on this Bricky defense, and although that first drive, nothing to show for it, kind of getting back to what we saw in that first quarter from this squad where they're staying ahead of schedule, not shooting themselves in the foot. And, again, that big 3rd and 10 pickup on, it's almost dead to rights when we see that for the Huskies so far. But
it is.
A big screen there, big pickup. Trying to keep a hold of this football now. Inside handoff, this to the left. I believe this will be Ross. Not much going there. Pickup of a couple. Stephen Miller, who had the big interception in this game, was the first one on the tackle. That was Ross on the ball carrier.
I think the urgency, I know there's a long way to go, but that clock, this quarter's almost gone already.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? With all the runs, and we kind of joked at the beginning of the game, this one's going to go quick as much as they both run the football, but I'm telling you, it's going to come down to one mistake, one silly thing.
There's only been 3 drives in this quarter so far, 3:30 to go. And again, another crucial third down. Play clock's at 10. A lot of miscommunication there from the Huskies. Don't want to burn a second time out here, Doug.
No kidding.
Down to 5.
Good call.
And they're going to burn one. Oh,
yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. A lot of uncertainty there.
And I'll tell you who likes that. The Hobart Brickies do. The South Bend St. Joseph Huskies now down to 1 timeout. We'll take a 30-second break. We'll be back here with Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. For 26 years, Armour Construction has been beautifying homes across Northwest Indiana. From expert roofing and durable siding to eye-catching custom copper work, Armour Construction does it all with the highest quality and integrity. Serving Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties, trust the best exterior construction company in Northwest Indiana to protect your investment. Back here at Layton Stadium here in South Bend, Indiana for the Class 4A Regional Championship between the Hobart Brickies and the South Bend St. Joseph Huskies. Mike DeWan, Doug Nelson, Zach Sinelli, Thomas Marsh here having some fun, but a big third down here for the home team. Picked up a third down conversion already, Doug. But got to make it happen once again with 3:13 to go. Burn the second timeout of the half for them so far. Man in motion. Going to be a play action.
Might be a flag.
Oh, and it will be. A bang play. But that early indication will be a pass interference against Hobart. Intended receiver was Austin Radigan.
Yeah, Terry Irvin, again, he's been all over the field, but he got there a little bit early there.
Yeah, Irvin, a young sophomore, plays that bandit role that Hobart calls it. 93 total tackles. 5 of them coming for a loss, 3 interceptions. Thought he maybe had another one there, but again, bang play there, tough, and more importantly, moves the sticks now for the home team.
Yeah. Again, I wanted to say that was a big play, but I think at this point every play is a big play.
That's right.
That's like Captain Obvious right now.
When we're getting now 3 minutes to go here in this quarter. Four Seasons first down now. A jet sweep to Ross. Has a lane. Good blocks to the outside. And another first down, 1 there for South Bend St. Joseph. That'll be a pickup of, I think we'll call that 8.
See a couple Hobart guys politicking for holding or something along that edge of St. Joe, trying to set it for that jet sweep. But it's been a pretty clean game. Since, the first couple drives we had some flags, and that's kind of cleaned up quite a bit.
This one, the Huskies, this one you'd wear your white gloves when you're playing Hobart and you're playing the white jerseys. You save your black gloves maybe for another game.
You got all the tricks.
Yeah. We'll get away with something here and there, right? Making a couple blocks, but a 2nd and 1 here, trying to pick it up. I don't know if maybe a second effort there. Wait on the ball carry, and looks like they will give them the first down here. So 2 good drives so far from the Huskies here in this third quarter. And a first down now just on the edge of the red zone. What will be a Four Seasons Mechanical first down there, brought to you by our friends at Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialist. Dave DeWaite there, the ball carrier, having a great game, the sophomore, and the lead back here tonight.
I think this is the kind of drive that St. Joe is used to also. Very methodical on the ground, throw it on through down, and they got the pass interception, but a lot of the damage is being done on the ground here.
And wearing on this Bricky defense. Jet sweep to the right side, gets the edge, but a great tackle there.
Great tackle.
Number 10 for Hobart, Nathan Subchinski. Heart over height, does not matter. James Crinity had the edge to the right side, thought he had a second, but Subchinski used his speed and great form tackling there to bring him down, almost kind of suplexed him, if you will.
It's funny, isn't it weird? There's a football game with 22 guys out there, but you end up calling like the same names. He's all around, always around the football.
Right. I mean, this is a defensive secondary for Hobart that a lot of guys playing both ways. More so, Tolliver and Subchinski. just fun to watch. Guys that so much cardio, so much skill, so much talent and experience. Now a reverse here. A trick play, going to throw it. Does he have him? He does. Touchdown, Huskies. Put that right on the money. Dallas Downey, the de facto quarterback, found James Crinity for the touchdown.
What a perfect throw.
Right on the money.
Dropped it right in the breadbasket.
Looked like a double reverse there. Dallas Downey got him going to his left side. The left, he put it right in stride for the junior James Crinity. Another guy playing two ways. And most importantly, South Bend St. Joe's regains the lead.
Mike, that's one of those plays they've been setting up the whole time. You know what I mean? We talked about how the shifting and the movement, and they've been setting that up and getting Hobart to bite on it.
What a throw. Snap is high, but kick is up, and kick is good. Little trickeration gives South Bend St. Joseph the lead, 10-7, 1:41 to go here in the third quarter. Doug and I will be back. This is Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
Back here at South Bend St. Joseph High School for Game Night, built by Armour Construction. This is a Quintel kickoff, sponsored by Quintel Incorporated, specializing in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. 1:41 to go, and now Hobart will get the ball back. Another pooch kick to that same side. Calling will not be Aiden Cash. This time it will be Stephen Miller. Bounces outside, has a good pickup to the 40, to the 45-yard line. A good pickup there for Hobart in the special teams department after what was a fantastic touchdown from South Bend St. Joseph.
Yeah, perfect execution also, and as we mentioned it, Downey just he's got some quarterback in his history, I would imagine. He put that right on the money.
To make that 10-7, James Crinity there with the touchdown reception, put it right in the bucket, but Hobart responds very, very well in the special teams department. Now takes over at the 47-yard line with 1:32 to go here in this third frame.
That third phase.
I will say, I think Hobart has stood their ground in that department. The punts have been great.
I think they've won that phase so far this evening.
But now they find themselves trailing by 3 in this latter part of the third quarter. And once again, an inside handoff for Pickett. And snuffed out right away from South Bend St. Joseph there. In on the tackle was number 79, the freshman, Brennan Lasaint.
Yeah, there's no reason to panic if you're the Hobart offense, but again, as we kind of talked about at halftime, who's got what up their sleeve, and that was a play, that gadget play that they had there for St. Joe. That's something. We'll see if Hobart's got anything left.
Still that elusive, explosive play we haven't quite seen from Hobart yet. Now Pickett in motion. Going to be a fake to him. Going to try and sneak a man out to the flat. Tatum rolling out right, running out of time, uses his legs. We'll just throw this one away. Sticky coverage from the Huskies.
Yeah, Tatum was being chased the entire time. That Hobart line did a good job of letting him turn the corner and getting his feet set. But again, that's not a bad throw by Tatum. Just live to see another day, right? Don't force anything.
Correct. Do not put that in harm's way. But now all of a sudden, that pendulum we've been talking about all night, Doug Nelson, has swung in the favor of the home team. As on our side, the crowd is up to their feet. With 48 seconds left in the third quarter. 3rd and 13. Got to make something happen here for Hobart. And they will burn a timeout. Eric Schreiber, head coach Eric Schreiber, ran to the referee before they got things going to burn their first timeout. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. We'll be back here on Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Back here for what is a big 3rd and 13 for the Hobart Brickies. Doug, what do you like here?
Maybe a screenplay. You know, I think that South Bend St. Joe might be bringing some pressure on Tatum, but maybe a safe screenplay there. Nothing too crazy. You got a whole nother quarter to go.
Snap is back to Tatum, has some pressure. They send some, the Huskies do, trying to watch out from behind. Trucks it up deep to Tolliver. Does he have him? It is picked off. James Crinity gets to the 40-yard line, breaks the tackle, bends it back, still on his feet. Breaks another flag, comes in as he keeps on trucking to the 50-yard line. That will be coming back for probably a block in the back, but the interception will stand. The junior safety, fresh off of that touchdown reception, so shows his skills with the ball once again on the defensive side with an interception there.
Yeah, depending on where the flag is, it could be just a form of a punt, right? I mean, that could have been just the form of a punt there, but we'll see with the flag, and hopefully the
ball there was intended for Bryce Tolliver that take the top off the defense, but
so that'll be 15 yards from where the flag is, right? So I mean, at the end of the day, if that's a punt, that's a punt. That's not that bad if you're a Hobart fan.
Heck of a return nonetheless from the junior safety, James Crinity, who had the interception, kind of thrown up to double coverage. Tatum tried to escape, got hit from behind. Hopefully he's okay. Kind of an awkward throw. It's just a pure upper body strength to get that ball down the field. But
I think it's going to be 10 yards from there, right? That's not the spot of the ball.
Take a look. I think it was a block in the back from what we saw.
It shouldn't be back here then? Shouldn't it be 10 yards from there?
There you go. There we go. So
there you go.
Mark it off from the 40.
The chains were already set over there.
You called it, Coach. At the 30-yard line, the Huskies will take over, but a big turnover there. The first one forced by the home team, the South Bend St. Joseph Huskies, and more importantly now with potentially one play left here in this third quarter, that pendulum just swings even a little bit more for the guys in the black uniform.
I just thought that, a little safe screenplay would get the ball in your playmaker's hands and be safe.
Now results in, like you said, an arm punt. Now an inside handoff to look to be David Waite.
Probably the last play of the quarter there.
And I think you got it. The sophomore finishes it off. And it will be the last play of the third quarter. 12 minutes, potentially only 12 minutes to decide this one. But the score now reads South Bend St. Joseph 10, Hobart 7. Doug and I will be back for the fourth quarter. This is Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Put your fours up, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Mike DeWan Alongside me is Doug Nelson on the call. Thomas Marsh, the cameraman. Jackson Ellie, our producer. Zach Miller doing a great job from the studio. 12 minutes to go here now. Start of the fourth quarter, 2nd and 8 for the Huskies. After what was a big takeaway, now outside handoff to Antoine Ross. Trying to get something going. Shoestring tackle there by Subchinski.
Good gang tackle. They blew that whistle quick there.
Yeah.
They did. They stopped his forward momentum quick.
But a gain, I think, of about 1, if that. Now another big 3rd down, a 3rd, and what would be 6. No, we talked about the momentum, Doug, and now we hear the Hobart faithful on the other side, and them being loud and proud and trying to get this defense off the field. But what we've seen here today, I mean, 2 big plays defensively, 1 per side. And Hobart's trying to get that one here on a 3rd and 6. Inside handoff, that'll be to the sophomore Waite, and not much going. Josh Diaz. The man, ball might have come out. The referee is going to mark him down. Hobart did come up with the football, but they are going to mark him down. Looked to be kind of almost a peanut punch there from what we saw here. But nonetheless, it gets them off the field. Gain of 2 there. That was Waite there on the handoff, on the carry, excuse me. Setting up a 4th and 4, and Hobart getting the ball back here.
Yeah, you still got to be careful, though. Watch for the fake. Again, don't let them draw you off sides. A penalty here would give St. Joe a 1st down.
You said it, a 4th and 4 here. 2 returners back deep for the Brickies. While the punt is off by Ryder Placed. We'll take a hop at the 30, take a Hobart bounce back to the 31, and that is where the offense will take over.
Good field position. It's not bad, man.
A good start, but can this Bricky offense put together a drive? The rushing, I mean, we've seen a bit of Max Pickett do some good things. Alex Tatum's been a little bit quiet as a rusher this half, and now trying to respond after what was kind of an arm punt, if you will, for an interception.
Yeah, you need one drive. One drive, at least getting field goal range here, and as you mentioned it, but you got to, again, as that clock dwindles down and 2 teams that really run the football, that clock will melt quick.
And more importantly, we talk about the timing. What South Bend has 1 timeout to their name, Hobart has 2.
Mm-hmm.
So for those that are counting at home or looking at our scoreboard graphic as well, those may come into play.
They always do.
As this 3-point game dwindles down. Tatum alone in the back with 3 receivers to the far side of your screen. Going to be a QB draw, calling his number. And a good start there for the Brickies. Seems like first time he's ran the football just about all half.
Yeah. They kind of ran that with the with Pickett in the backfield, he's kind of by himself.
Just kind of that empty set. I guess it's kind of like a wildcat.
Kind of like
play,
a delay.
Guess,
kind of
right?
like a delay, like
Yep.
you mentioned.
Alex Tatum not afraid of contact. He's also a gifted wrestler as well. Very good in the classroom. One of the few athletes I was fortunate enough to talk with over the summer at Hobart's Media Day. A proven leader, somebody who wants to play sports well after high school and has the talent and grades to do so. But trying to get something up here, the junior is. Back to pass is Tatum. Looking left. Intended for Bryce Talbot. Broken up there. Some pressure was put on there from South Bend St. Joseph.
Yeah, he's got to feel that heat coming, and he's got to have that internal clock, right? He's getting pressured. Really to get a chance to get his feet set. Somebody down.
More importantly, we have a man down. I believe that is for South Bend St. Joseph. In a bang-bang play there, an out-breaking round. Bryce Tolliver was the intended receiver. And more importantly, and that is a South Bend St. Joseph player down on the near sideline.
Maybe hopefully a cramp. Looks like he's stretching out a little bit.
While he stretches out, we'll take a 30-second break here. This is Game Night, built by Armour Construction. And we'll keep it right here. He gets right up the field. Yeah, that's what adrenaline does for you. But that is... We'll get a look at who that was if
Number
we
6.
could. Number 6, that's Martin Madden, the sophomore. I believe he might have been up there on the breakup on the play. Good to see him get back and walk up under his own power. He looks like kind of holding his side, holding his back area.
We mentioned there's a lot of hitting going on.
That's it. Yeah, these 2 teams are very, very physical in the trenches and definitely out wide as well. But now a 3rd and 6 after the slight break in the action. 9:30 to go. Hobart just trying to pick up a 1st down, get the chains moving.
Call timeout.
That'll be after this timeout, their second of the half. They'll talk this one over. We'll talk this one over. We'll take a 30-second break here. This is Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
If you are injured in a worksite accident or hurt by a defective product, go with the guy that has a proven track record litigating these cases. Otto Schregel, a principal partner at the Allen Law Group, will make sure those responsible for hurting you are held to account for their negligence. With multiple offices in Indiana and Illinois, you could reach them at 219-465-6292 or reach them out on the web at www.kenallenlaw.com.
Back here on the Region Sports Network, a 3rd and 6. I feel like we've said this before a couple times here, Doug. What team is going to make these plays on these money downs here on Game Night, built by Armour Construction? Got to give a big shout-out to our presenting sponsors in these latter half of the season. Exterior remodeling experts. Give them a call today at 219-987-2023. You can always check them out on the web at armourconstruction.net. Doug, keep it short and sweet here. What do we want here from the Hobart Brickies?
Something, again, you got to have, maybe roll them out, because when you drop that back to pass, St. Joe's bringing heat.
Cash is in motion to the right side of the screen. Receiver now coming in motion is Tyler Tatum, looking out that way to the right side, steps up in the pocket. Time is running out. South Bend St. Joseph gets home there. Quarterback sack, all sticky coverage once again from what has been a pretty solid secondary performance from these Huskies.
Yeah, they're bringing pressure, and you got to roll them out and move the pocket a little bit and give them some time. I don't know. I really, maybe twice or 3 times he's had a chance to set his feet and square his shoulders. Other than that, he's kind of been on the run.
Again, this team, the Huskies, live in the backfield. As Charlie Moran, the sophomore defensive end, has 6 sacks to his name, which surprisingly does not lead the team. But again, a lot of guys that could really make things tough. And again, a sophomore with Moran now. Snap is up, punt is away. We'll take a hop at the 39 and a little bit more of a fortuitous bounce, but now the Huskies will take over at the 35-yard line. 8:39 to go. And again, you look at the Hobart offense, it's been kind of a rough night. I mean, their one touchdown, we got to remember here, Doug, was set up by an interception from Stephen Miller where they had to drive the ball a couple yards.
Right, but again, that's just a testament to the St. Joe defense.
Correct.
As we knew they were tough, and you know what, top 5 in all of state of Indiana, so they've been all of that and more here tonight.
I guess you know what they say, Doug, right? Offense wins games, but defense, they may win regional championships. So there's 8:39, at least 8:39 to go here in this ball game as they take over now. 1st and 10, inside handoff. That'll be the sophomore David Waite once again, and that time Hobart, we will get him for a loss on that one. Aiden Cash, name we've called all night tonight. And a couple other brickies on that one.
Well, you're going to see St. Joe keep the ball in bounds,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're not going to be in a real hurry to really try to turn that corner. But, yeah, so, you know, you got Hobart who came in at scoring close to 38 points a game.
I mean, you said it, hats off to this defense. Both defensive, but the Huskies have, again, forced the big turnovers and has gotten in the backfield and has really kind of kept up their MO as they've, again, allowed Hobart to only 7 points. 2nd and 12. Now another handoff to Wade. Bounces back inside. A good gain there of about 5, but
I think that some of the fans thought the quarterback kept it. He was running, and some of the fans were like, yeah. Oh, they realized he had handed it off.
Yeah, it's, again, Sketchetano is not one to run the football, and we've kind of seen where, who knows, it could be a setup play here, Doug, when we get to something late in the game.
Now's the time to do it.
Right. But they are keying in on the rushers, which, again, we talked about David Waite. We talked about a couple other guys.
Yeah, I would load up the box. If I'm South Bend, I would not put the ball in the air.
They're going to try and sneak a man out in the flat. Going to throw it to a corner. He got it.
They call that a catch.
They do. Put it right on the money. Biggest throw of the night.
Cow.
James Cornetti having a game, but more importantly, what a throw from Sam Sketchetano.
Man, I'm going to tell you what, that could be, if it goes St. Joe way, that could be the play of the game. I mean, that was a huge play right there.
To be off platform, yes, you're rolling out right in your dominant side, but that is tough.
On the sideline, quarterback or receiver made a play. And again, they're eating clock.
And a kill shot
No
for
kidding.
the Hobart Brickies.
No kidding. That's a gut buster there.
Absolute gut punch. 1st and 10, inside handoff to the sophomore, David Waite. And a good gain there on 3. For 3. But now, like you said, Doug, tick, tick, tick clock is not in favor of the Hobart Brickies now, under 7 minutes to go.
Right. That 3rd down, man. But what a roll in the dice. What a nice play.
Yeah, Hobart did a great job of covering up that flat, which is probably the first read there. Then you look, take your eyes a little bit further down the field and put it right on the money for James Cornetti, who has the lone touchdown for the Huskies this half, and obviously an interception for them as well earlier in the 3rd quarter.
Just a great job of being aware of where you're at and getting your feet in bounds as well.
And all you need is 1. But 2nd and 7 now. The flag could be a pre-snap penalty. David Waite, though, a good gain will be enough for a 1st down, but a flag did come in.
Is that a false start, maybe?
We could see maybe legal formation. Did not blow the play dead, which I believe in most cases they let it roll on.
Illegal.
Yes, it will be. Okay, so it takes a 1st down for the Huskies to now a 2nd and 12. What has been, like you said, Doug, a relatively clean game outside of getting those, first few play jitters.
Yeah.
That's a big blow for the Huskies.
Again, the biggest opponent of Hobart right now is the clock.
Yeah. 1 timeout.
Yeah.
To their name. Both
Right.
sides. But with the makeup of this Husky offense, they are going to
they're winding it.
Pound the rock. Yep, they're going to wind it. And it may not be the David Waite show that we kind of talked about all night. There's a lot of guys that could potentially put this game on ice. This time it will be the sophomore. An inside handoff. A couple gold hats to the football. We'll get back to where they probably were, maybe 1 yard less, but a gain of about 4 for the sophomore.
2 hands on the football up here, St. Joe.
That's it.
Hobart's digging. Hobart's, as you mentioned, the peanut punch. Another huge play. 3rd down, Michael.
Yeah, what do we do here? I mean, we saw them open
I'm not
going to
guess I was wrong.
Can't bet 1,000, they say, as much as we'd like to, but now you're in plus territory, which that may change some things a little bit. You're not backed up in 3rd and 10 where they were before, but now just north of 5 minutes to go. And what is a big 3rd and 8? This is going to be a jet sweep. A flag does come in, does stay in bounds, but does keep the clock running, but we'll stop it right there and see what the penalty is. Could be another potentially penalty on the Huskies. I think it might be.
Illegal movement again, huh?
It will be.
Do you decline it? Can you decline it? Oh, they're backing them up.
I think I would. Because it was a good run there. That was, I believe, Cornetti.
It would have been about 4th and 5.
Yep. I think I would back him up here to now what would be a 3rd and 13. 2 killer penalties for the Huskies, potentially keeping the Brickies in this ballgame.
Yeah, St. Joe coaching staff is asking for some kind of explanation, but without, we don't have those fancy monitors, but it's hard for us to see what.
Well, now they have
what they're calling
the chip in the ball too. Now with also, if we want to get really fancy and look at the measurements and
what do they call that? I don't even know what that's like. Almost like tennis, right? With those
right
sensors.
One day.
Ball is in. 3rd and long here.
3rd and long, like you said it, Doug. Back to pass. Screen. They're going to set up a screen.
Oh, he read it out. He sniffed that coming.
They've seen it a couple times here before, but that is Von Jones, the junior, leading this team in tackles, coming into the night, 105 to be exact, and the biggest one of the season there.
What a great play. Way to kind of sense that coming.
That's when you watch your film there,
Doug.
That's what the full week is for. When you guys all have a free rush to the quarterback, guess what's probably coming? Some sort of screen.
Yeah, someone's got to stay home.
Yep. And more so, make the tackle in open space.
Special teams here.
Now this will be 4 minutes to go, so we talked about it, Doug. Could be 4 down territory from here on out. Not much pressure. Punt does get away.
That's going to roll.
Take a funky hop. Does it get in the end zone? And special teams, Doug. What a play there from the Huskies to keep that ball from going into the end zone. Austin Radigan laid it up, threw him the lob, and down that ball right at the 1 yard line. What a great job from this cover unit.
And hats off to the punter. Again, you could see that ball. I mean, it had the top spin on it, right? It had that roll, and
that's teach tape.
That third base, that third base. I mean,
we talked about Hobart and how much they were probably running away with that third phase of the ball game, and not so fast as the South Bend St. Joseph Huskies.
30. It's a 4-quarter game.
Might have taken that phase for themselves. And now Hobart has to drive the length of the field if they want to put it in the end zone. Only need 3, but 3:49 to go.
They got not get a safety here.
Looks like here, at this point, you want to try and get it out of your own end zone. Trying to draw them off sides, a little hard count there. Going to be a inside handoff to Pickett. Maybe one. They'll give him forward progress there.
He got a couple yards.
Got back to the line of scrimmage, if that. Looked out to be maybe a tush push there, but hand it to number 6, Max Pickett. A lone touchdown for the Hobart Brickies, but this is where you don't want to be if you're an offense.
Yeah.
This is the loneliest place in the world.
You got to get out of the shadow of the goalpost here before you think about scoring.
This time.
And St. Joe's been bringing the heat and putting pressure on Tatum as well.
Sorry, Doug. This time Tatum now going to run a reverse and just gets out of the end zone. I believe they'll give him forward progress once again, but that time around they might have lost a yard. That time that was Stephen Miller on the reverse, the inside reverse.
They're just filling the box so much.
And at this point, Doug, you have under 3 minutes to go. You have one timeout to your name.
You're not going 4-down territory, right? I mean,
I don't think but
what's your option?
Right.
With one timeout.
Punt it and give them the ball at the 40-yard line if you get the punt off.
And then if St. Joe gets a first down, the game's over.
Correct. You could cut this tension with a knife, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of yards to go for the Brickies at 3rd and 9. Tatum now back to pass. Watch out for that white line. Does throw it deep. Does he have a man? It's Tolliver. Broken up. Might have had a step. A great coverage there from South Bend St. Joseph, and what has been a masterclass from this secondary. Martin Madden there with the breakup.
And they have to punt.
2:12 to go in the ball game. Tatum might have had him. That was about a 40-yard ball. Put it kind of right on the money, but this sophomore cornerback for the Huskies.
When they run their routes, though, as it appears, it looks like there's only one option. It would be nice to see a little guy to maybe clear it out and run somebody in the flat or something.
There's been a lot of Bryce Tolliver. Now tries to get this punt off. He will do just that. That is
nobody back.
Michael Clach, and they will let this one roll. And now they get the ball at the.
That's a good job of getting rid of that ball. Where did that come from?
I don't know. We just had
a baseball fly in here.
Yeah, right. Everything's going on here. The party's already started. Hopefully that was a foam ball, but nonetheless. Yeah, I don't know what that was. We had a little projectile be thrown. But hey, we're here. 2:01 to go. South Bend St. Joseph gets the ball back now. And a chance, like you said here, Doug, where one first down, that might just about do it. One timeout here for Hobart. Ball's on the 46-yard line.
I mean, you run 3 keepers here, and you're pretty safe. They can only call one timeout, right?
I'll say this here. We've talked about it all game, but watch out for the quarterback. Although he hasn't ran yet, there's been a couple lanes here. Inside handoff to David Waite. And there's one stop for Hobart. Gain of about 1. One timeout to their name. They, I think, will let this clock run.
Hobart's not calling timeout.
They will not yet. They might save it, I'd imagine, for another down.
Maybe 3rd. Before they punt, or is he? You can't take it home with you.
Yeah, eventually we'll have to use it. I don't know. When you do, I guess we'll see. The clock ticks now. 1:20 to go. 2nd and 9. Another inside handoff. Hobart does a great job there. And that time, Eric Schreiber will now burn the timeout there. I don't mind waiting it down. I don't really see any difference in that, especially now you set up a 3rd and 9. Talk to your defense a little bit on a big 3rd down. But I'd imagine, again, who knows? You don't want to go for the kill shot here, right?
Nah.
You want to keep that clock running.
You're running the football right between the tackles. You're not even getting close to the sideline. Don't even think about getting pushed out of bounds.
But 1:13 to go. 3rd and 9. Hobart now again. No more timeouts to their name. 2 timeouts they burned while I believe they were on offense, Doug.
Yeah, they'll always come back to get you.
And we talked about it. Timeouts are important, especially in a one-score game, what this has become with now 1 minute and some change to go here from South Bend St. Joseph. Been a heck of a time here with a great crew on hand. And
what a dogfight. It's just an absolute dogfight, wasn't it? Just a rock fight, Yeah. I mean, just a little bit old school. You're just in the trenches and grinding out
2 programs that
rushes.
want it bad.
Yeah.
Be sure to stay with us after the game as well. We got 3 awards to hand out. The Crowd Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, and the Proud to be Union Play of the Game presented by Local 395. Going to be a jet sweep here. Going to try and stay in bounds, and smart play there from Dallas Downey to just concede defeat.
You're looking at about 20 seconds.
Yep.
After they punt it, it'll be about 10 seconds.
Do a little bit of math here. 30 on the play clock, 55 and counting now on the game clock. And
you might take a penalty if you're St. Joe.
Right.
Run it all the way down. Do they have a timeout left, St. Joe?
They do. They have 1 timeout, so you could do that as well. Now it looks like Hobart, most times on punts, we've seen Doug, they've had 2 guys back. I think this time they're going to sneak Tolliver up and maybe try
to get their punter, huh?
Make this a little bit easier. But South Bend St. Joseph will use their final timeout of the ball game with 27 seconds left. They'll be punting back to Hobart, who needs 3 points. 40 on the 48-yard line is South Bend St. Joseph. Yeah, you said it, Doug, though. We'll keep it right here. Dogfight. The Huskies, how they responded a little bit here in the 3rd quarter, how a little bit of trickeration. Couple more explosive plays, and this game is not over yet, but Hobart offense really kind of fizzled out. And a team that puts up a lot of points, a great defense they're going up against. Do not get me wrong. It's still some time left in this game, but just tough sledding.
Yeah, again, and that's what's got them here. And you knew South Bend St. Joe had that defense. They've had it all year, and as you mentioned, the only scoring drive of Hobart was when they had the pick and they got the ball inside the red zone.
This Hobart defense has made a couple plays of their own, as obviously, like we said, they've had the interception that set up that touchdown. Now maybe the special teams could maybe try and make a play here, as yes, 1 returner will be deep for Hobart. That'll be Nathan Subchinski, as they might come after this one with 27 seconds left.
You're selling out. There's nothing to lose.
As Ryder Place will try and get this one off. He'll do just that.
What a punt.
Just very deja vu-like on that previous punt where it took kind of a funky hop. And
what a great effort.
Great effort trying to keep that ball out of the end zone, but Hobart will take over now. 19 seconds, 0 timeouts. They will take over on the 20-yard line. They need 3 points.
They need 3 points.
Doug, defensively, a couple things you'll probably do here.
Back up, yep. And back up.
That was easy.
Right.
And Hobart, again, there's only so many things you can do. You want to try and get out of bounds, obviously. You want to see maybe how the Huskies combat that.
Yeah, maybe a little hook and ladder, get some momentum, and maybe get close to out of bounds. At some point you're going to throw one up for looking for a flag or a Hail Mary.
Tatum can throw he's got quite the arm. So if you give him time, if you can get him in a decent spot, I could say if we can get to the 50-yard line, I say if you can give him a good chance at the end zone.
Yeah.
He's got the arm power, the arm strength, the arm talent. But got to get there first. South Bend crowd on their feet. Going to take it while they can. Just sailed that one over Bryce Tolliver. Try to pick up a couple yards there and get out of bounds.
Yeah.
Missed that throw a couple times here tonight, Doug.
Yeah, it's sailing high. And that's what happens when you're rushing. You know what I mean? I'm sure the heart rate's up and adrenaline's flowing, but you got to, right here, you need a lot of help.
16 seconds left. 2nd and 10. 3 receivers to the bottom of our screen. Got a man open out wide.
That's an illegal substitution.
They try to sneak him on?
Yeah.
That was Nathan Subchinski that popped up at the top of our screen. And
might be, I wonder if it's a runoff. Probably not, because the clock was not running, right?
Well, yeah, they snuck Subchinski on at the top of our screens and tried to throw one up to him. But that will back Hobart up.
As you can hear, we're probably we're in the South Bend St. Joe section. So
we are in the thick of it, but yeah, the clock was stopped.
We have all kinds of official help up here.
Sure, yeah. No.
Third and long.
Yeah, we're back this one up,
or is it
right?
second long?
But a lot of ground to pick up here and not a lot of time for the Brickies. Two receivers to the far side of your screen stacked on top of each other, and in comes Aiden Cash. Join the party. Tolliver comes in motion. Tatum back to throw it. Pressure. Steps up in the pocket. Got to get out of bounds. Give yourself a chance. 5 seconds left. Will step out. May have time for one more play here. Will pick up the fourth season mechanical first down. 5 seconds left. No timeouts.
Yeah. If you're St. Joe, you're okay with that. You burned a lot of time, and what you don't want to do is I kind of wondered. You see, Patrick Mahomes kind of does that. He kind of baits the late hit. Have you ever seen that?
You know, he steps out and steps back in.
He kind of leans and kind of runs into the defender, and
that's why everybody loves the Chiefs so much, huh?
Sure.
Yep. 5 seconds left in this ball game. Gotta have it. Ball is on the 32 receivers to the far side of your screen. Alex Tatum, everybody back into block. Let us see that arm. Tatum throws it, will not make it to the end zone. It is picked off.
He threw a flag.
The flag comes in.
He threw a flag.
That was picked off by James Cornetti, but a flag came in. It was
I wonder if you call it offensive interference. It was literally like 4-on-1.
Hobart may have, we get a push off there, but that flag came in, as the ball was caught by Cornetti, and that will be defensive pass interference to give Hobart at least a sliver of hope.
Wow.
You don't see that often, Doug. It seems like they're always kind of, pushing and shoving on plays like that, but the ball was well short of the end zone, about the 35-yard line.
That's literally the one thing you can't do if you're St. Joe.
But now you give Hobart new life with the ball now on the 45-yard line. The game cannot end on a defensive penalty, so zeros read the clock. The students are on the field. They're ready for some fun, but this game is not over.
Untimed down.
10-7, zeros on the clock. One play for the Hobart Brickies. Runs a play action. Tatum will roll out right, has plenty of time. Throws it deep.
I can't see it.
It is broken up. Thrown up for Bryce Tolliver.
What an effort.
And it is pandemonium here at South Bend.
What an effort just to get it there. Like you said, he has an arm. That was like 60 yards in the air.
Alex Tatum got the ball there, rolled out right, got to his dominant spot, had plenty of time, was able to put it in a position where his receiver could go up and potentially grab it. But it was broken up there by South Bend St. Joseph. I believe James Cornetti was the guy on that. And most importantly, South Bend St. Joseph wins their first sectional title since 2015.
Regional title.
Regional, yeah, thanks, Doug. Yeah, right. Looking at sectionals last week.
We're around St. Joe fans. I don't want you to get beat up here.
I know. Thank you for looking out for me. But
gotcha.
the fans have stormed the field. It has been, what a game, till the very end in that one, Doug.
Two teams. I mean, it's one of those that it's hard to see one team have to lose this game. I mean, I know again, it's one of those things of coach speak. But man, I was impressed with St. Joe's defense, of course, and Hobart traded punches with them the entire game.
And this will be the 7th regional title in South Bend St. Joseph football history, all led by Ben Downey, the head coach in his 10th year, who was a state champion as a player in 1995 for this team. Spent a couple seasons with this program from 2010 to 2015, then came back from 2022 to now. As an alum, he's done a lot of things in his first tenure, and now obviously kind of bringing back this program, bringing back his alma mater. What was the signature victory against Hobart?
Just, what can you say about that defense of St. Joe? I mean, that's impressive. Just flying around, you're talking about, again, we mentioned Hobart coming in averaging over 38 points a game, and so that answers the question we talked pregame about what travels, offense or defense, and defense won this one.
Doug Nelson and I will break things down. We'll stick around for some of the festivities, but more importantly, we have 3 awards to hand out at the conclusion of this one. So we will be back. This is Game Night, built by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, my name is Mark Machnick. I'm the owner of Mark Machnick CPA firm in Highland, Indiana on Kennedy Avenue. I've been working with Region Sports for years now. Started working with Chris years ago, just on some special projects, advertising here and there. After a while, kind of increased the advertising. Mainly was doing it for the community involvement. It's such a great network and program they do with the high school sports. But as time went by, I started getting on there more frequently, and then the phone starts ringing. And I was getting calls all the time from people. Hey, I saw your ad on so-and-so football game. I saw your ad on a basketball game. And it's really helped my business. It's increased the volume. We're a tight community in Northwest Indiana, sports-wise, and just a lot of community involvement. So that's mainly why I got into it. I remember watching one game. It was a basketball game, and I think there was a little bit of an altercation. And as the altercation was happening, my ad was right on the bottom, and someone typed in, "I wonder what Mark Machnick's thinking right now." And I was thinking, wow, this is awesome. It's really been a great feature for my business. It's the only advertising I do. I don't advertise anywhere else other than Region Sports. It's for the business, but mainly for the involvement with the community. I played high school baseball here in Highland. And ever since I've been advertising on Region Sports, a lot of my old coaches are now my clients. A lot of my old teammates come in here. My recommendation, if you're a business here in Northwest Indiana, I think Region Sports is, for your money, it's one of the best places that you can advertise. I mean, I can advertise on billboards. I could do anywhere I want to. And I choose Region Sports mainly because I get a lot of feedback. Especially on the high school level, a lot of the parents, if they can't make a game, they're watching it online. They're watching a replay, the grandparents. So it's done wonders for my business, and it's my go-to for advertising. It's the only spot I would advertise. So if you're a business owner in the area, really look into advertising on Region Sports. It's going to be well worth your money, and you'll make tenfold on what you're spending. Region Sports Network, they're the only game in town, but they're more than just a game.
Back here at South Bend St. Joseph High School for Game Night, built by Armour Construction. The final score reads South Bend 10, Hobart 7. And what was a game down to the wire. Be sure to stay with us after all of the games tonight. We'll send it back to the Center Bank studio as we'll recap all of tonight's regional championship action from around the region and around the northern half of the state. All from the Center Bank studio. Doug, we talked about it just before the break. Just a chess match all around, a dogfight between two very, very stout defenses, two offensives that can put points up on the board. They've done that in previous weeks, but tonight was all about the defenses and a couple explosive plays, and we'll highlight one later. But South Bend St. Joseph just made those couple more plays offensively and defensively to steal this one from the Brickies.
Yeah, and you're taking advantage of the other team's mistake. Hobart did that with the touchdown off the pick, and then, St. Joe did that, with their drives, and it was very methodical for St. Joe there in the second half, and that second half went quick, didn't it? I mean, We knew it was going to come down to small things. When you had two teams that are so close, on paper, it was a coin flip. So, congrats to St. Joe and Hobart. What a run! What a run.
The Huskies will now take on the winner of Dwenger and Lebanon. I believe last time we checked, Fort Wayne Dwenger was having their way with Lebanon. You can feel free to check out all of our scores on the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard. We'll put a bow on South Bend St. Joseph, but about this Hobart squad, it was quite the season. And although they're 2 losses, now 3 losses, but looking at kind of mid-season and kind of them falling out of the race in the NCC with dropping games to Andrean and Lowell, but how they responded in kind of the back half of the season, beating a good Morton team and then circling the wagons and getting ready and taking on a Lowell team in the sectional championship, beating New Prairie in the first round, getting over that hump as well, although they've fallen on harder times. And Hobart to get to this stage in Eric Schreiber's second season, looking at the outlook of this roster moving forward with Alex Tatum and some other guys, and it's becoming, again, that culture is really kind of rebuilding, the winning culture, and it stings. It stings for Coach. It stings for those seniors as well, Doug, but some really bright days ahead for the Hobart Brickies.
No question. And as you mentioned, he's kind of laying the groundwork still. And this still, it's we talk about a lot with teams around that we're coaching is, it's a process, and it never ends. It's even if things went well and they would have won today, it's still a step in a process of what Coach Schreiber's vision is for Hobart football. But it hurts right now, as you mentioned, just the finality of being done for his seniors, but he still is very proud of his boys, and things are moving in the right direction.
Yeah, for us up here, it's an honor to watch some of those seniors grow over the course of their high school career. We'll talk a little bit more about one of those seniors, but Max Pickett was a name that really stuck out for us that would have played his last football game here tonight for the Hobart Brickies. Some guys, Preston Perez was an absolute firecracker. Josh Diaz, a two-way player as well, and just so many other pieces of the squad. That Logan Peters, Ethan Abrigo, a couple other guys that it's a tough part of playing high school football at the end.
And as you mentioned, some of them are multi-sport athletes. And
true.
I got a buddy, Bobby Wineland, who's the baseball coach at Hobart, and he does a great job. And some of these guys are going to come play for him. But those are the kind of, as you mentioned, those are the kind of guys you want on your program. You build around, and just again, you're only laying the groundwork for the people that are coming up behind you. And it's hard for those, as we mentioned, to understand that now, but. In the long run, when they come back in a year or two and they see the program of where it's at and playing in regional finals and beyond, and they'll know I had something to do with that.
And it's a community that is definitely one of one, as we all know here at the Region Sports Network. But big shout out to, as they walk off the field with the trophy, the South Bend St. Joseph Huskies, who got the win here 10-7. Doug, we got to put a bow on this one as well. We got 3 awards to hand out before we hit the road back to Northwest Indiana. We'll start with the Crowd Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. The business professionals. We'll stick it with the Hobart side in this one. We'll talk about somebody that was super, super fun to watch, just as a ball carrier. Runs hard, plays hard on his sleeve, and that was Max Pickett.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it runs in his blood. His father was a running back at Lowell, and again, He did whatever he could. I mean, he plays the way a senior does, and he played hard. And like you said, he played in a limited games this year, and his impact was felt on every time. You had to know where Max Pickett was every snap of the ball for Hobart. So that's why he's our superhero of the game, and we wish him well.
They would even line him up in Wildcat, put him in a bunch of different roles, wear a bunch of different hats, and ask him to make a couple plays, which he did tonight despite the result. Big shout out to Max Pickett. We'll move over to our Boilermakers, Local 374, Blue Collar Player of the Game. Learn about apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org. We'll take it to a player that will be potentially a Brickie next year is Nathan Sepchinski, defensive back, somebody who, again, hard over height. We talked about those blue collar attributes. Somebody that, again, played in all 3 phases as well, and just a fun piece to watch up here that we're excited to do next fall.
Yeah, and it's funny because when you think of blue collar, you think of Hobart. There's a few schools in our area that you think of really blue collar, Griffith, Lowell, those guys in Whiting. And, But Nathan flew around, made things happen. He was like a little spark plug. You know what I mean? He was like a little water bug, just flying around, always around the football. And again, he's a junior. He's got 1 year to go, and I think he also is a multi-sport athlete, and he's fun to watch. So he's worth the price of admission. So that's why he's our blue-collar player of the game.
Big shout-out to the junior defensive back, receiver, kick returner as well. And finally, we'll name the proud-to-be Union play of the game, all made possible by Ironworkers Local 395. Go to ironworkers395.com to start your future as a Union Ironworker. And we'll deem this one as a South Bend special. If we could look at that one, Zach, if we could pull that play up, the play of the game, it was not a touchdown pass we'd maybe think would be in the cards, but sure enough, a double reverse. It was from,
Dawson Downey.
Dallas Downey he threw the pass to the left. He got out to his left side after a double reverse, as you see on your TV screens, and found James Cornetti for what would eventually be the game-winning touchdown.
Oh, he couldn't throw it any better. It was just Cornetti's hands were extended out on his fingertips, and just the right time for it for South Bend Joe. And you couldn't have wrote that up any better if you're a Husky fan.
That was the final score of the game. I believe that was from about 24 yards out, and that would really kind of end up being the difference. But just a back and forth game, Doug, and to be up here again. It's one of the better times of the year when their trophies are to be handed out, because you really see the beauty of sports where you see the feeling of winning a game, and you really see the agony of defeat. But any final thoughts, Doug, in this one as we kind of gear up now, shut the book on Week 13, shut the book on, unfortunately, another region team, and gear up now for the Final Four?
Yeah, again, best of luck to our teams that are still alive. As far as we know, Maryville was up and Andrain was up. But for Hobart, Coach Schreiber, it's again, he understands the process, and it's going to take time. And his second year, and you lost by a field goal to in the regional final. You'd almost take it. You know what I mean? But it's going to burn for tonight, but in time, you couldn't be more proud of your boys and how far he's come here in 2 years.
I would say this is definitely something to use as ammo for future teams. But big shout-out to the victors here tonight, which is the South Bend St. Joseph Huskies, who punched their ticket to the Final Four in the class of 4A. Well, that'll do it from us here from South Bend St. Joseph High School. For the management at Region Sports Network, for Chris Ramirez, our executive producer, Rich Castillo, our operations manager, our sales manager, Heather Ames, the coordinating producer, and also the producer for the audio streams is Zach Miller. For Zach Sinelli, the producer on site here today. Thomas Marsh was our cameraman. For the coaches, Eric Schreiber Jr. of Hobart and Ben Downey of South Bend St. Joseph. The athletic directors for Hobart, Mike Black and Stephen Anthony, who of South Bend St. Joe, really got us set up. Was in contact with him all week and did a great job of getting us set up here and making us feel at home here in the Layton Stadium. As well as for you guys, of course, this does not happen at all without the viewers, with you guys on the IHSAA Champions Network tuning into the video broadcast, and you all on the audio broadcast on Facebook, on YouTube, and on regionsports.com. And, of course, my partner here tonight, Doug Nelson. Thank you guys all for logging the travel miles, this whole crew as well. Man. Thank you guys all for putting together quite the postseason. It's been fun to do it all with you guys. It's quite a family we have here, and these are the best times of the year. So thank you all. For Doug Nelson, Zach Sinelli, Thomas Marsh here on site. I am Mike Dewan from the Region Sports Network signing off. This has been a production of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.